Everybody, let's chat with nobody else's auto. It is 7 o'clock Sunday evening. Time for Sunday night live chat. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. So we'll give everybody a few seconds to get their notifications, know that we are live and ready to go for this evening, and we'll get rolling into the chat. Norma's on with us already. Frank's here. Bill's ready to go. All right, we got a new Facebook screen over here like we had last week, so I kind of got to get reacclimated to that. So hopefully you guys on Facebook are getting your notifications, and we'll be on with us here soon. And I got to get used to the way the comments have been working on Facebook. Gasser61 from New Zealand is on. Lee from New York is on. Lots of familiar faces jumping on with us right out of the gate. As always, I appreciate you guys coming back, hanging out, spending what is turning in to be the majority of your Sunday evening hanging out here with all of us. Pete's on. Kevin's here. So anyway, lots of things going on, lots of things happening. Still trying to figure out this new Facebook format. I don't even know. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I got to find the comments. Joe's on from Florida, and Joe Kern's on as well. I ain't used to this new Facebook format thing yet, so please bear with me on that. So anyway, Bill says hit the like button. Appreciate that. Glenn from Minnesota is on, another one of our regulars. Jason is on Facebook as well. So glad you're back with us tonight. Rico and Jess are on. James from Virginia is here. Scott's back on Facebook. He was working under a hood last week. Well, I guess if you're working on your car, that's a pretty good excuse for missing. Who else is here? Chris, John from Texas. So thanks for jumping back on, everybody. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm still amazed that you guys want to come back and hang out here every Sunday night, but we do, and we're having a great time. Frank is ready for the Hudson badge. He ain't messing around tonight. He's like, let's get this thing going. Gary's on Facebook. Dan's here. Aston from Daytona Beach. Buzz from Roadkill Customs made it tonight. Chevy's Wagon. New guy from Vegas. Welcome, Chevy's Wagon. Glad you made it. Hope you enjoy the chat. Hope you like hanging out with us. We do a lot of fun stuff on here. Chris, Kevin L. Joe says it's the meta universe now. That's true. That's what it is. It's Facebook meta universe. I don't know. It just, I know it ain't cooperating very well for lives. I do know that much. Not compared to what it was doing a year ago. It worked great for lives a year ago. Been terrible as of lately. So Sebastian's back on with us. So glad you guys all made it. Matt's here. And let's go ahead and get rolling tonight. As always, trolls, you guys know what to do. I'm going to ignore them. You guys jump on and make sure they're not welcome here. I appreciate that. Watch your autocorrects. If I cannot make out your comment or what it's supposed to say because autocorrect changed some of your words, I have to skip it and keep going. There's just too much stuff going on so double check your autocorrect before you hit send. Make sure it says what you want it to say. Joe, no, I have not shipped your cans yet. I got your check, but I haven't got them shipped yet. They'll be going out tomorrow. I've got to get some stuff out here tomorrow. So, of course, you never know, Joe. We got more cans tonight. You may be getting some more. We may have to wait to ship you some more. We got some more cans to sell here shortly. Jerry's on. Barry from Brunswick, Georgia is here with us. Caprice Classic Motors from Aurora, Illinois made it tonight. So seeing some new ones on here. Number One's on with us again tonight. Some of you are probably getting thirsty already. We better get that up there and get rolling here. Steel Ponies made it. Bill says, welcome, Chevy's Wagon. You've been warned. Jennifer's here instead of Jason Withrow. Well, glad you're here, Jennifer. That was great. Glad you're going to hang out with us. Jason's tonight. He's out of the house. He'll have to catch up on the Hudson badges when he gets back home. That's all right. Jim, cannot find photos of the Indian head from last week. Apache Trailers did not use that one. Okay, so maybe it was a different one, but I'm sure that was off of a travel trailer. The one that we looked at last week that I had up there of the cast aluminum Indian head. Jason looking for front and rear bumpers for 68 Skylark. I don't remember if I've got any. I've got rears, but I don't remember if they're 68s or 69s or both. I'd have to double check, see if I've got any 68 rears. I should still have some fronts. They're all going to be good cores. So James likes the camera angle better because he can see more of Heather. Yeah, that's never a bad thing. So I try to play with it. I mean, I have to move the cameras every week to get them out of the way on the desk. So every week I kind of try to make sure I get stuff set the way I want it. So you can see me good in the shot, see the background stuff in the shot. So they get readjusted every week. Let's see. Kenny's here. Number one is that Tucker Radio have record player. They didn't have record players in them back then. The record players didn't come out until the late 50s, obviously well past the Tucker. Those were just radios is all they were. See, Jim says the Apache built the Vesley cameras for the Vesley Corp. Okay. Okay, Chivy Swinging's what it's supposed to be, but he had to kind of modify it because it was already taken. So Chivy Swinging is what it's supposed to be. Is what it's supposed to be. Our new friend that's on with us tonight. Joe, any hoods for 95 Silverado? I've got some mid-90s Chevy pickups out there. So there's probably a few out there. I just have to go look and see. I'm sure there's some out there. Just how good are they? So anyway, let's see. Are we caught up here on comments? And let's go ahead and get rolling. Like I said, watch your autocorrect. Help me out with the trolls. If you're on the Nobody's Show page on Facebook, I cannot see your comments. If you're on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, this is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. So you will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show page on YouTube to comment, participate in trivia, participate in the auctions, anything like that. So please bear that in mind. If you're on the Nobody's Show Facebook page, this is a shared video. If you just want to watch and hang out, perfect. Not a problem whatsoever, but I cannot see those comments at all. Eloy's here. Big job's on tonight. Nope, the answer is not the GMC grill Chevrolet tailgate on Pole Barn's truck. No, it's not. No, Bill, that box is completely full. The radio, the head unit, the control cables, the instructions, the hardware, everything. It's all completely full. It's all in there. Everything is in there to put a radio in your Tucker. If anybody had a Tucker to put a radio in. I know I don't. James, take your marker and put a marker around it so you know where to sit it next time. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, speaking of Pole Barn Garage, Dalton got a video up the other day with some super cool drone footage. I got one of my videos up the other day of when Dalton picked up the Roadrunner. So lots of content out there between both of our pages, both of our channels with Pole Barn Garage and myself. The drone shots were cool. Huge shout out to Roadkill Customs for Buzz hooked Dalton up with that drone, just pretty much so he could come out here flying around my yard and get some super cool shots with it. So if you haven't been over to Dalton's channel and check out Pole Barn Garage and catch the video that he put out the other night of coming to pick up the Roadrunner with the drone footage of the yard. Great time. Had a great time with those guys, and can't wait to see what happens to the Roadrunner. So it's going to be a neat project. It's going to be a great garage mate for the Holy Goat in the Pole Barn Garage. Let's see what else we got popping up. No, the answer is not 2 Roadkill stickers on the Fury, but yep, Dalton did sticker up the Fury with Roadkill stickers, which was pretty cool. So, Eloy, information on the 64 Impala. If that's that 2-door, that's Dad's. We don't have it titled yet. That's why it's just sitting back in the corner because we haven't had time to mess with it. Kim's on with us. Old school, just watching an interview with Bob Lutz. I bet that was interesting. Lutz was a very interesting guy. I've read at least one of his books. So I've actually been I kind of have been a Bob Lutz fan over the years. He was at Chrysler. I never met him. He was way, way up at the top when I worked for Chrysler. But he was there when I signed on back in the late 90s. Bill, how long have I had that? The Tucker radio, I've had that for probably almost 20 years. Let's see. What else we got popping up here? Okay, looks like I'm caught up. Lots of people chatting on there, talking, saying hi to each other, which is great. That's because we've got a big community here that are all getting to really know each other. In case anybody's thirsty, there's a Hudson badge. So, like I said, had a great time with Pole Barn Garage. Be sure to check out that content. It came out really good. There's some neat stuff on there. Be sure to check out Dalton's video with the drone footage and check out my video from when they were here. Like I said, good guys. We got along great, and it clicked. We were both here for the right reasons, doing the same thing, and you could tell that good car guys and had a lot of fun there. huge shout out to Buzz at Roadkill Customs. He helped put all that together, and it's going to be a neat project. I'm going to hit you guys pretty quick with these. So, number one, Bob Lutz doesn't believe in climate change. He's steadfast and educated in his opinion, and he is a very intelligent guy, that's for sure. Brian's on. Forgot to mention last week that number one was close on your Quebec license plate, but not correct. It translates to I remember. It is a political statement referring to 200 years when the French settled. Okay. So that was on the license plate from the viewer box that Brian sent us a couple of weeks ago, I believe. So Joe's on with us. Let's see. Okay. Like I said, we get a little crazy. It gets a little crazy with comments rolling in here when we get a lot of people on and hanging out. So, but anyway, what else is happening? Worldwide Auctioneers had a big sale this weekend. My buddy Phil, who works for Worldwide, has a lot of their memorabilia stuff. Been chatting with him. He said memorabilia was off a little bit, but cars were still very strong. They actually sold the 60 Edsel convertible Pilot, which they only made a handful of 60 Edsel convertibles anyway, but it was the Pilot 60 Edsel convertible. It sold for $168,000. So sounds like Worldwide had a great auction. You can check out their catalog and under Worldwide Auctioneers and see what they had going this weekend. And but Phil said they had a good sale. My cousin Mark was there this weekend as well. He lives up in Michigan. So, and he actually got to meet Phil as well. Kind of funny how it all kind of clicks and works together. I get a text from Mark that he's going to be at that auction. And I said, well, my buddy Phil's going to be there because he works for him and does all their memorabilia. And then the funny part about it is the guys that my cousin were going with were the guys that were taking the Edsel convertible. So funny world, small world, that my cousin texts me, says, I'm going to the auction. Phil's there, my buddy. So I tell him Phil's going to be there. And turns to come to find out they're all Edsel guys. So it just kind of clicked, but it was neat how it all worked out. Joe, did you get the check for the $500 oil can? Of course not. Of course, we didn't get the check for the $500 oil can. So that individual doesn't get to play anymore. So I think there's 2 people that haven't paid me that don't get to play anymore. So overall, it's been going pretty good. A lot of you guys have been great to work with, and you do what you say you're going to do, with the exception of 2 people. And like I said, they just don't need to play anymore. And so that's just how it'll work. So Alec from New Hampshire's on with us. Let's see. What else is coming up? Something else that I plan on doing. The Lawrence Swap Meet is coming up here in a couple of weeks. Anybody that's in the central U.S., no, number one, that's what we were just talking about. He did not pay. So you asked the same question about the same time Joe did, probably. So no, that means you don't get to play anymore. But Lawrence Swap Meet is coming up. That's usually a pretty good one at the Douglas County Fairgrounds. I've been going to it for years. As always, a lot of these swap meets, I've been going to them since I was a kid on a lot of instances. And that's another one of them is the Lawrence Swap Meet. It is a pretty good swap meet. We usually end up doing pretty well there. I just go to buy. We haven't sat up there in years. Jess says they are going to Lawrence to sell. So Rico and Jess will be at Lawrence. So if you're around, maybe you can catch up with them. Billy from Texas is on. Jeff from Ottawa, Canada is on. So looking forward to the Lawrence Swap Meet. Like I said, I enjoy it. It's always a good time. You always get to see a lot of friends. We're going to get to see Rico and Jess there this year. And so definitely if you're in the air, I don't remember who it was. I've got it written down in my folder. I'm going to make a list. Like I said, I've got 2 now that didn't pay. So I'm going to have to start putting, it's dumb. I'm going to have to put a list together so I can keep it in a file on the computer and pop it up when we do auctions to see, who doesn't get to play. So Aaron from Kingsville, Missouri is on. Dalton, Pole Barn Garage jumped on with us. We just got done talking about you. So none of it was any good, of course, but not that you would expect any less. But anyway, Thanks for the video, Dalton. It looked great. The drone footage came out cool, so appreciate that. Like we were just talking about, telling everybody to make sure they go check it out if they have not seen it yet. So Martin Designs is here. Pete, when is Lawrence? Lawrence is in 2 weeks. 6th and 7th, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think it's the 6th and 7th. I'm sure Jess will correct me if I'm wrong. So Jim, much of his Kansas family are in Lawrence. So that's right. Dalton says, of course you wouldn't expect any less. So I wouldn't expect any less out of you either. So however, Dalton, we are giving away, just so everybody knows, Dalton with Pole Barn Garage brought me a milk crate full of cans that he found in one of his builds projects. So tonight we're giving away one of Dalton's cans, courtesy of Pole Barn Garage. So you'll definitely want to be on for trivia tonight. Everybody's wanted to give Dalton a shout out, Pole Barn Garage, for helping support trivia, throwing a few cans into the mix so we can ship them out to you guys. Old School, the non-payers regulars. I don't think so. I said there's only 2 of them, so I need to pull those those two names out of there. So the IP address of the $500 bidder says it's a BS account. Could be. There's no doubt about that. Jim says hit the like button. Jeff says she's pretty sure that is the dates, the 6th and the 7th as well. BW's Garage is on. So let's see. Sebastian's back. Had to finish his dinner. No, I know it's not you, Old School. Tony's on with us. William Cumbie, cans are cool. Yep. Like I said, we always give some away, and Dalton helped resupply the coffers for that. So appreciate that. Let's see. Brett didn't get back in the Blue Vegas. That's no problem. Not a big deal. Just whenever you get time. So anyway, that's kind of what I had for open chat. Definitely want to bring up the Lawrence Swap Meet. Definitely want to give a shout out to Dalton and Pole Barn Garage. Had a great time with those dudes. Matt, chatting from Duncan, Oklahoma, being Kansas doing a junkyard crawl. You have to call me and set something up, Matt, because I'm not open to the public. So you have to schedule something in when you're going to be coming through, so I know what you want to look at and things like that. So Sebastian, no, you didn't really miss anything too major. So let's see. Randy's on with us. John spent the last 2 days at New Braunfels Swap Meet. Oh wow, I've been to the New Braunfels Swap Meet once, I think. Kind of forgot about that, John. Thanks for bringing that up. Went to New Braunfels Swap Meet back when I worked for Chrysler. I was working down in Texas. Stayed over one weekend, and Mom and Dad came down, and we hit the New Braunfels Swap Meet. Well, I just kind of a throwback segment there for me a second, John. Appreciate that. But that was a good swap meet 20 years ago, so it sounds like it still is with 1,000 vendors. Old School, are you not, or is active? I'm not allowed to be open to the public. I don't have time to be open to the public. There's no way that I have time to be open to the public. Too much stuff to do. Obviously, I ship basically everything. And if somebody wants to pick something up, it's not a problem. I just have to schedule it in. But no, I could be open to the public every day. Not a problem. There's no laws that say I can't be, but I just don't have time to do it. Between hauling cars, pulling parts, getting shipments ready, there's just too many different directions to go for me to be open regular business hours to the general public. There's just no way I have time to do it. Jeff, how close are you to Wichita? And you get there frequently. I'm about 100 miles from Wichita, so I get there occasionally. It just depends on what's going on. Number one, what does anybody bring to the yard if they've made an appointment? No, to sweeten me up, nothing. But I did have a guy come pick up the door and brought me a bag of peanut butter cookies last week that his wife brought me. That was like pretty epic. The only problem with that is he loaded up his door, and then I had to go check parts for like 30 minutes. So I was driving around the yard checking parts for guys. And there's this big bag of peanut butter cookies in the seat next to me. And then like 30 minutes later, I felt terrible. And I was miserable and bloated and stuffed. And half the cookies were gone. But I felt terrible a little later. But they were good cookies. So, Brett, were you ever open to the public in the past? No, not since I bought it. When it was a regular late model production yard, it was open to the public daily. since I bought it. But no, I haven't been, basically I bought it in 11. And the guy that I bought it from, because it was a regular late model production yard, the guy that I bought it from had 2 years to work through his inventory. So he was there for another year and a half, and they were still open at that point. But once he finally retired, the guy that he was working for him worked for me for a little bit while he was there. And then once he finally, was done with what he wanted to do, I shut it down to the public. I just don't have the time to do it. Let's see what else we got popping up. Let's see. Big Job says keeps the insurance cheaper. Doesn't make any difference. If that's what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about maybe he's talking about he's waxing his truck. Maybe that's what it was. So Old School says, I thought there was a health and safety lock. Nope, that has nothing to do with it. I just don't have time to be open to the public. Buzz says, wait, cookies are all it takes? Well, he bought a door too. That helped. But yeah, the cookies were a great idea, but I just, like I said, I felt terrible a little bit later. I should have put them in the back of the truck instead of in the seat next to me. Peanut butter cookies. What else? Donuts, barley sandwich. Let's see. Okay. Looks like we're caught up. At least the stuff to me. I know there's a lot of comments, and I apologize if I missed somebody's comment that is directed at me, because there's a lot of guys on here that are talking amongst themselves too, which is fine. I'm just trying to keep it sorted out and make sure that I'm not missing anything important, like a Hudson badge. And speaking of badges, why don't we check out a few more? Yeah, they were good, because I did eat half the bag. It was miserable, but I don't know. They were pretty good. So, but anyway, that's kind of what I had for open chat. And as always, keep your comments coming. Keep it up. We'll do what we can as we work through here trying to catch them. But let's go ahead and move into the next segment of badges. Kevin says, got milk? No, I actually didn't have milk either. That'd probably been worse. I'd probably ate the whole bag if I'd have had milk. But as we get into the badges tonight, Dalton's going to jump off. He's got some frogs to eradicate in the pond. Okay? Not a problem, Dalton. Glad you made it. At least you know we're giving away one of your cans tonight. So everybody's going to appreciate that. But we'll show you the Hudson badge one more time before we work into tonight's first badge. As always, we're going to start off with something a little earlier, then move to something a little bit newer. And number one's already ready to start buying stuff, but we're not ready to auction anything yet. Got kind of a big badge here tonight. Actually, the badge is tiny. The ornament's bigger. And you guys probably want to see what it is. You quit messing around and show it to us. I know that's what we're going to get to. Don't worry. This one is a Studebaker 1930 to 1934 era Studebaker. Now, this whole piece went on the front grille. Now, the actual badge is very tiny, really. The badge itself is literally just about an inch. It's kind of tough to get my hand turned around here, but a little over an inch is the actual badge itself. Now, one thing that was very odd about this, this whole ornament where it goes on the grill is 6.5 tall and 3 wide. So we're 6.5 top to bottom, 3 across here, but our badge itself just a little over an inch. When I was looking this up on, of course, American Auto Emblems, the super great website that I found, there were some things about this one that were a little bit different. And it led me to believe this possibly was an export badge. Now, I'm not sure that as I was going through it, but based on the ones that I saw on their website, and you can go back and look at the early 30s Studebaker badges if you're interested, the export said, or the U.S. standard U.S. one said Studebaker straight across, and it just had like these 3 bars here straight up. It did not have these small end bars on it. And like I said, the badge was straight across, so those 3 lines were straight up. The angled ones, such as this, they were actually calling export. Alex says, looks like it has some weight to it. It's really not that heavy. It's thin tin, so it's not that heavy. Bill says, thanks for the cans, Pole Barn. Kevin says, cool badge. William says, put it on a rat rod. Number one, that's American auto industry thinking at its finest to keep the badge the same, change the frame every year. So, Buzz says, show me the back. Yeah, we'll get to the back as well. So I just wanted to finish pointing out why they were calling this an export. The other reason why, and I'm sure you can't see it, but right here on this edge, it says USA. And it said made on the other edge in USA. It said if it had the USA, some of them said it in here in the blue circle, some of them said it on the end with the Studebaker at an angle. They were calling that an export badge. So not sure, what, where, why, or how, but that's what that website said. Now, the back of this, like I said, the body of this is an actual enamel badge. The body of this is just steel. And it's just chrome-plated steel, basically, the way it looks. It had two little tabs here that, caught on the grill bar. This piece up here extended up and mated with the grill. Were the two halves of the shield polished or painted? I believe they were painted. Jeff, are you familiar with a company by the name of Sharpline Converting? They're a high-profile company. No, I am not. Have not heard of them. Brett, do you ever come across an old KW or Freightliner or Rio or Diamond T or any other truck badges? I do have some truck badges, not a ton, but I do have some. Roger from Australia is on with us. So I believe that these areas were originally painted. Obviously, we had black around the outer perimeter. These bars were chrome and left as chrome, and this extended up to a bar on the grill, just going straight up from the pictures I saw. Obviously, this came in the big batch of badges we bought in Missouri. Did not take this off the car. Have not seen one similar to it on a car in recent history. So that's kind of about all I know about it as far as the way it mounted on the grill. But neat piece. It does have a little bit of a bevel to it, because it went on the center of the grill. But just essentially just a big flat piece of steel, or mostly flat piece of steel, that the badge was pressed onto and mounted on. But definitely stands out. It's kind of weird for as small as this badge is compared to the other badges of this era where they were trying to catch your eye. They just put a small badge on a big shield to try to catch your eye. So that's kind of where they were headed with that one, is what I assume. Number one, do you think the halves were body colors or black like the Studebaker logo, or the Studebaker logo blue? Not sure. Like I said, never seen one in person. Seen a few on the American Auto Emblems site, but I didn't do a deep dive into it to see. But it absolutely could have gone other way. Could have been body color, could have been blue or black. The years on this one, Kenny, was 30 to 34. This was used comparable badges to this. Not all the same. There was some few slight variations. Like I said, they're calling the U.S. versions just had Studebaker straight across. The exports had it at an angle. Some of them said made in the USA here in the little blue circle. This one obviously says it right here on the end. So a few different variations of this badge from that window in time, but it is 30 to 34 according to the American Auto Emblems website. If you haven't checked that out, Kenny, you got to check it out. I love it. This was show and tell, Buzz. We're not to the auction yet. We're going to get there here in a little bit. We're just doing badges right now. So, but we do have a badge to auction off tonight. That badge was stamped in a machine. Yeah, it's actually back here. It was pressed on. This button was smushed down and pressed it onto this big shield piece. So Buzz wants to buy it anyway. So Pro Stock digs it. Yeah, it's a cool piece. Yeah, this is one out of our personal collection, and I'm sure it's one my daughter picked out because she's a big Studebaker fan. So that's the scoop behind the first badge for tonight, the 1930 to 1934 export Studebaker grill badge. Big Job's getting thirsty. We've got to throw that one up too. Uh-oh, I dropped it. Too many badges. Too many badges, not enough hands to get all the badges in. Don't worry. It's A-okay. Didn't hurt it. It's good. Polish it up a little bit. But still wants to buy my Studebaker badge. So No, I think this one's going to go into the collection. I've got some other Studebaker badges that I can sell. That's not what I've got out for tonight, but maybe I should have. Everybody's getting pretty excited about this one. So, Dan, they wanted you to look hard for the name so you would remember it. That could be. Maybe that's why they put it on a big shield to catch your eye, but then you actually had to go study it so you can remember it. Jeff Taylor, Steel Ponies digs it. Josh says he can't hear me. Is anybody else having any feed issues on YouTube as far as hearing me? Let's see. Big Job says, sippity doo dah. Yeah. Kenny says his mom just asked what's up with the Hudson badge. We'll give it up. We'll throw it up there again. So everybody else is hearing me. Perfect. Okay. So maybe you might have a feed issue on your end, Josh, because lots and lots of people can hear me just fine. So perfect. I'm good. I'm apologize. Hopefully you got something on your end, but everybody else hears me fine. So good. I got me a little nervous there for a second. But anyway, 30 to 34 Studebaker export. Let's move on to the next one. Gasser61 says we can hear me in New Zealand. So Josh closed it out and opened it back up, and he's working now. He's on with us good. So perfect. As always, we're going to jump up a few decades in badges to another one. And this one I think is really cool. Some of you guys may not dig this one as much. But obviously, I'm a big fan of F-bodies. I've got a few dozen or something like that. I don't know. But what we're going to look at now is a grill badge. And this is definitely a sign of the times as well. We are, like I said, we are jumping up a few decades. A lot of us, we recognize these badges with the 20s and 30s with these enamel badges. This badge, you're definitely going to recognize as 70s era because that's exactly what it is. It's a grill badge for a late 70s Camaro Z28. 77, 78, 79, somewhere in that vicinity. But, obviously, and this is a plastic badge. This is an original. It's got the old bracket and the studs and everything on it. So this is an original that I found years ago, stuck in my emblem box, and just kind of kept it just because there, again, I'm a big fan of Camaros and Firebirds, always have been, always will be, and have plenty of them. So Billy Bowman's on with us on Facebook. Brostock says yellow and red. It's actually kind of yellowish and orange. Sebastian likes the colors. We'll try to get it up here so you can get a little better look at it. I know we're going to have some differences in color based on your screen and things like that. Alec digs it. And like I said, a lot of this stuff, especially this plastic stuff, they're going to make it new. It's going to be available, but I like these originals. This one's got a little bit of issues with it over here on the front edge of the Z. I don't know if you can see it or not. We're a little bit of separating and some scratching, but I don't care because it's cool because it's an original. I've had it for years. Sebastian says, yeah, it's not faded, which is nice. Kevin says good colors. Chris digs it. Pete's digging it. So Kevin says that's really sharp. It stands out. Yeah, and that's what they did. And one thing about it, obviously, the late 70s Camaros didn't exactly have the performance to stand out, so they had to have something to stand out. Bill says you should get Gray Kitty to get your badges on the floor. She's actually sleeping, right, Gray Kitty? Gray Kitty. She does not want to be bothered. She doesn't care. She's over on the other desk sleeping. So, number one, mostly on white or red or black cars, but silver was sometimes available. Pro Stock says T-top of the manual transmission. Don from Nashville is on, late signing in, but he's here with us. That's all right. Alec loves the 3D effects. Yeah, that's what it was. It showed, depth, dimension to the badge. And there again, it was mounted to the grill, so it kind of made you, show that depth with the depth of the grill, I assume is kind of where they were going with that. So, but once again, it is a cool badge. James, yes, many F-bodies himself. 73 Formula, 77 Trans Am, 78 Trans Am, many others. Yeah, we got the same problem, James, obviously. Same with Daniel. So that's kind of why I liked it. Josh, I enjoyed the yard walk. I keep seeing F-bodies all over the background. It didn't show any. And I thought about that after we got done with that, I never even did walk through the F-bodies. I have probably, if I went through all the buildings and everything that's in the yard, I bet I've got at least 50 Firebirds and Camaros. So yeah, I've got a slug of them. I've got several good ones that are in my personal collection. So but yeah, I thought about that afterwards. Like I never actually did go over and walk through some of the F bodies. So, but yeah, that's another problem I have, another addiction. Scott, any 442 badges? I've got some somewhere. I found a really cool one. I'm trying to get a guy to sell me too, a 442 badge. I'm trying to think what I may have laying around. I don't know. I'll see if I can find one. That or maybe I'll get this other guy to sell me this 442 badge I got my eye on. Then we'll have to definitely check that out. Bill says that must be her Hudson mouse. Well, Big Job says she's digesting a mouse. Are you digesting a mouse? I don't think you want to work that hard, Gray Kitty. Hudson badge. Let's see. What do we got going up here? William, the T is we're cool. Jeff, F bodies. Everyone needs to collect something. That would be one of mine as well if I had the time, space, and money. Number one, the 28 font is like the font Chevy used on the factory-backed Trans Am race cars. Josh, you're 900 miles from me, but I plan on calling when I have money to make a trip out there to look at Firebirds. Yeah. That sounds like a plan. So anyway, there's our other badge for the night, the Z28 from the late 70s. Like I said, definitely 70s era. The colors, the 3D depth look to it, plastic, of course. But like, yeah, of course, it's got a metal backing plate. So plastic studs, metal backing plate. Pete, I have a Camaro addiction too. 2013 ZL1 is my most recent. That's a pretty good car to have around too. So anyway, there's the badges for the night. 30 to 34 Studebaker, 77, 78, 79 era Z28. Two different time periods, two different cars, yet we still see what they were doing with badges. They were still designed to catch your eye. They were still designed with style. They were still designed with colors, and they were still designed to make you want to look at and hopefully purchase one of those vehicles. So there's the badge section for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it and like checking those out. Buzz is still trying to buy the Studebaker badge. No, I don't think that's going to fly with my daughter. Not for as big of a fan as she is of Studebakers. Sebastian says you can never have enough cars if this is your job. Yeah. It's kind of my philosophy. And actually, I just bought another one a couple hours ago, at least over the phone. I haven't paid for it yet, but I called the lady back, told her I'd take it. So seems to kind of keep happening. Norma says, cool badge night tonight. That's good. Buzz, can't blame the guy for trying. I don't disagree with you, Buzz. You're perfectly understandable. That's a badge. But speaking of which, who wants to get into some auction stuff? Are we ready to do some auction stuff? I've got a handful of things set out for tonight, kind of a menagerie. A little bit of mixture of some stuff. Joe still wants to sell the Diamond T, wants me to sell the Diamond T badge. But let's get started here. Would you show the blue race car on the tall shelf? Right up here? We can do that. Number one, how can you expand? Do you have the land? I've got 20 acres. The original facility that I bought was 16 acres. They had up to 2,500 cars in that part of the yard. That was before I bought the stuff on the north side of me that's been hung up in the state for years. That got me another 4 acres. So I've got 20 acres with the capability, I think, pretty easily of close to 3,000 cars. Just based on it. Actually, I've done a lot of dirt work, and I have actually gained a bunch of ground in the main yard, because there was one area that was probably, I bet it was 50 yards long and probably 30 yards wide, that was so low that when we got rain, I'd have ducks in it. And the previous owner couldn't use that spot. It was so low. Well, there's another 50 cars in there. Now that we've leveled that off, we've put a ton of fill in there and got that leveled off. So plus there was a couple other areas that we've already put fill in and leveled off. So he had 2,500 in there. I've actually gained on 16 acres. I've gained some room in there that he wasn't using by hauling in fill dirt and leveling that ground off. Then I bought those other 4 acres next to me. So I think, obviously once I get, organized, I've still got tons and tons and tons of dirt that needs to be put into holes and areas leveled off. Over time, as I get all that done, I really think I've got the capacity for 3,000 cars, and I've got about 1,500. So I think I can get pretty close to twice as much in there as what I've got. And some of that stuff, I can always crush some stuff out too if it's some stuff that's just pure junk, especially if it's newer stuff that is shot. So, like, I've got 10 cars out there that the fire department cut up of newer stuff that they practiced on Kias and stuff like that are just wasted space that can go, things like that. So let's see what else we got going on here. I'm missing, get caught up in comments. William, the old cars are works of art. Yeah, they are. Josh, what's everybody drinking? He's got Coca-Cola. I've got water because I do too much talking. I do all the talking. You guys sit here and listen to me. I don't know why, but you do. I got water because I got to stay hydrated. Big job. You got a bucket for your loader? I've got a bucket on the loader right now, actually, as we speak. The bucket is on. When I got it back out there, I threw the bucket on it because I did need to move a little bit of dirt. Where the fire trucks were at, the fire trucks actually sunk in because they had, they had all their connections hooked up to fight the fire. There's just all those connections. They drip, they leak. Well, it kind of sat there and saturated the ground where the fire trucks were sitting. And then they had to get out of there. So they rutted it up pretty bad. Fortunately, they didn't get they got the fire under control, but they rutted up the road. So I had to haul a bunch of dirt in there. I had a couple piles of wood over in the new yard that had been there for eons that there again were taking up the space of about 4 cars just because it was just junk sitting there. I scooped all that up, carried it over to a burn pile that I want to burn one of these days. So I've actually got the bucket on the loader right now. But I got to get the forks back on it. Start moving some cars around. So to answer your question, Big Job, I do have a bucket because it's on there and I'm using it. Alec, do you have your own crusher? No, I don't have my own crusher. I don't move enough iron to justify my own crusher at all. Number one, do you have fence, cameras, guard dogs, or donkeys? I've got a fence or the remnants of a fence. The wind has destroyed it. My new posts are built. I've got to finish getting the last few painted. And then I'll have another fence going across the main highway. And I've got a lot of cameras. I don't have any dogs or donkeys, but I do have a lot of cameras. And then all the buildings, of course, are alarmed. So Sebastian says, kill the Kias. That's right. That's why I donated them to the fire department to cut them up. So yep, kill the Kias. That's why the fire department gets them to chop them up to practice with the jaws of life. Number one is drinking Old Milwaukee. Buzz, roadkill. Is your daughter college age? If so, tell her 150 books are expensive. Yeah, she is in college, Buzz. So, I still don't think you're going to talk her out of Studebaker badges. Chris agrees with Sebastian. Yep. Pete says, never give up, roadkill. Tony says, because I'm interesting. That's why you hang out here. Well, I appreciate that, everybody. I really do. I don't think that I'm that interesting, at least interesting enough for you guys to all want to hang out here. You're all Sunday evening, but hey, that's great if you want to. Frank says Genesee beer. Big Job says I need a quick change for my machine. I've had the bucket on that machine probably 3 times in 6 years. So not that critical to have a quick change on it. Number one says 150 for a university textbook, maybe in the 90s. There was I heard guard donkeys are the thing. They yell, kick, and chase. And that's very possible. They might. Kevin says if you need a gunslinger for the yard, he needs a job. That's a badge. Steel ponies, Jeff. No dogs, but killer cats. Yeah, I got pain in the butt cats is what I've got. Alex is drinking some hard cider tonight as he's hanging out with us. Josh, what are you doing with that blue 9802 Trans Am, no drivetrain, hitting the front driver's side? It's just a parts car. It's actually got a drivetrain in it. It's just the top end's off the motor. I think it's a 2000. I just bought it for a parts car for mine. Not that I need anything, but I had an opportunity to buy it. Scott Andrews, who hangs out with us on here sometimes, he had it in stock. He didn't need it. He said, hey, if you want it, I'll bring it to you. This is what I want for it. So I just told him to load it up next time he came through Great Bend. So he threw it on his trailer, and I threw it out in the row and need to get it moved up with the F bodies. But I just bought it because I only had one other 98-02 Firebird in stock, and it was a V6 car. So I just figured I ought to have one in stock. I always like keeping some parts cars around for my good cars, just in case you ever need anything. So hopefully you never do. But Gasser 61, Gray Kitty will chase anyone off. Yeah. Big job, Bucket. Nice for keeping weeds down. I got a ton of spraying to do. I actually started spraying today, and I'm actually working on some other ideas for spraying as well. Roadkill, I'm switching to gasoline over the Studebaker badge. Chevy swanging. I need a 455 Pontiac block. I've got 455 still in stock. Just the basic mid-70s 2-bolt blocks. I don't have any 70 blocks, but I do still have a handful of 455 Pontiacs in stock. Bill, don't forget about the blue race car models. Good thing, because I forgot about it. So let's get that. Kenny's on Coors Yeller tonight, so let's get that badge up there so everybody can see. Hit the Hudson again. Let's grab this. This actually is a toy that I've had since I was a little kid. So this is one that I've had for a really long time. Let's get it down and check it out. It's dirty. Pooey. Wow, it's been up there for a long time. This is an old Raymond Beetle Blue Max funny car. I got this when I was probably 10 years old, somewhere in that vicinity. Look at the back, Blue Max, and it says right here on the back, licensed under authority of Raymond Beetle. This was a cheapy plastic, this is a filthy one, toy from back in the early 80s. So, like I said, I've had this since I was a little kid. I think I got it at Kmart. Really, really cheap, chintzy plastic body. It does pop up. It's got a little release thing here. Man, I've messed with this thing in a long time. But there it is in all its filthy glory. I should have actually maybe cleaned it up a little bit. My engine's loose in it. But not exactly extremely detailed by any means. Keep knocking the engine loose. I need to glue that back in. This thing's been up there for a really long time, and I haven't even looked at it. But it is a cool piece. Like I said, it has just a basic, this pin is literally what goes through the chassis to hold the body down. Snap that back in place. We'll hold it up so you can see the decals on it a little bit better. Buzz is trying to buy this too, so this one there again, I've had this since I was a little kid. Cam 2, Motorcraft, Hurst shifters, Ford Motorsports, Russell, Crane cams, Holly, Winston, of course, back in the old Winston days when they sponsored any and all motorsports. Front says Motorcraft and Cam 2 as well. It's 5 FC for funny car with Raymond Beetle on the back. Has the sticker for the back window. So there again, not it's old. It's close to 40 years old. Definitely a cheap, chintzy plastic toy, but I've had it forever. I love it. I was so excited when I got it as a kid. So that's what that's the deal with it. That's why it sits up there. Lots of questions popping up. Jeff, what do you have in my own F bodies? We'll get to that in just a second. Big job. Cool blue light special. Yeah, I don't think it was a blue light special, but I'm almost positive I got it at Kmart. Kevin said it'd be a cool RC car. Tony's still cool. Wish I had some of his own old toys. Pete digs it. Buzz says, I've got great taste. Well, I hope. Daniel, is that car what got you started on F bodies? Nah, I just always liked them. Big job because nobody else would sponsor them but Winston. Yeah. So anyway, there it is. That's the toy that's been up there probably the whole time as we've been doing this. But that's it. The Raymond Beetle Blue Max, super cheesy, super chintzy, basic plastic, slap some stickers on it, and throw it in the toy bin at Kmart. funny car from the 80s. So whatever it's worth, there she is. And it's a filthy mess. But hey, that's part of it. It sits up there. Like I said, I haven't even thought about it in so long. I'm actually kind of glad you brought that up because I'm kind of excited about getting it down again. So let's put it back up there so we can get on to some auctions. But anyway, real quick, what do I have in the way of my own F-bodies? Let's see. The stuff that's in the buildings. Sebastian's ready for auctions. There's an 84 Trans Am that's painted, needs put together in that building out at the yard. One of the 25th anniversary 94s is out there. 94 Trans Am 25th anniversary fixed roof cassette car. One of 59. There's another 78 Trans Am in that building. I think that's the ones in those buildings there. And then I've got the 74 Z28 in this shop here, the one that was featured in Hot Rod. I've done videos on that car. And then over in my toy box in the Good Car building, there's the Marty Blue 78 Trans Am with 48,000 miles. 82 Z28 Indy Pace car with 28,000 miles. 92 Z28 convertible, factory convertible. One of 1,251 92 Z28 convertibles they made. 02 WS6 Ram Air convertible. And the other 94 25th anniversary, which is a T-top CD car. And if you're into 25th anniversary Trans Ams, they made 2,000 of them, 250 convertibles, 1,750 coupes. The difference was the roof, convertible, T-top, fixed roof, and then the other option was the radio, whether it had cassette or CD. So basically, that's why the 25th anniversary Trans Ams are broke down that way. And I've got two of those cars, so I think that's most of the good ones. And then Dad's got a black 78 Trans Am. He sold his 69 Camaro. Maybe he's just got the one Trans Am right now. So, yeah, we got some. Oh, and my sister's got one. My sister's got an 83 Trans Am Daytona 500 pace car. So we are kind of F-body poor, actually. Anyway, let's see. Kenny, is that a Ferrari plaque up against the wall on the shelf? Yes, that is a Ferrari plaque up there. Just it's a new reproduction sign. It's not just a new one that's, was probably made 15 years ago. No big deal. Maybe it was made 20. I don't remember if I bought that when I had the car or after it. So if I bought it when I had the car, that's probably 25 years old. But no, it's not old. I do have a lot of cool Ferrari memorabilia, but that's just of actual Ferrari memorabilia, but that's just a new reproduction piece. Big Jump says, hey, it's your youth. Yep. The Roadkill says, look out, Sebastian. You got it fired up with the Studebaker emblem. Yes, Sebastian, that is an original Tucker radio right there. New old stock in the box. Pro stock, what's the difference between an Oldsmobile rocket motor or a GM regular 350 motor? Well, everybody had their own 350s, and they're all different. Olds had one, Buick had one, Pontiac had one, Chevy had one. I think Cadillac is I don't remember if Cadillac actually made a 350 or not, but they are all completely different engines. Nothing interchanges. They are all completely different engine families. Oldsmobile, Buick, Chevy, and Pontiac, and they all made a 350. William, there's a good car part. They're all cool. Phil, yeah, they were cheap in their day. Now they're worth big bucks. Pete, next time my wife says I have a Camaro problem, I'm going to tell her to talk to you. That's fine, Pete. Not a problem. Lori, idea, Sunday night live walk outside to show more cars. Yeah, we might be able to do that sometime now that the weather's getting nice. Hoods and badge. But anyway, auction time. Let's do some auction stuff. One more Hudson badge, get everybody primed up. What are we going to start off with tonight? Okay, I got 5 things set out here tonight. If we want to do one or all 5, I've got a badge, 3 cans, and I've got a little sign for you. It's kind of rough, but it is stamped steel embossed. So I think we'll start off with one of these little cans, kind of get everybody rolling here. And then we'll see where it goes from there. If everybody wants to do all 5 things, or maybe we just do a couple things. And Big Job's in at, or number one's in at 8. Kenny's in at 9. We ain't even got to nothing yet. So we'll start with Kenny's $9 bid on this first little can. And it's kind of neat. It's different for sure. It is, and I say it's not car related. However, it's kind of car related. It's Frigidaire New Coat. Now, I don't remember who made Frigidaire. I don't know if GM made Frigidaire. Yeah, GM made Frigidaire. Frigidaire Division, General Motors Corporation, Dayton, Ohio. Alex just says, let's see it all. But it's a neat little can. Frigidaire New Coat. Has a really funky little cap on it. It has a little chain lever type thing on it. Frigidaire New Coat has a super cool little Frigidaire badge up there. You can still see remnants of the old price tag on it. On the back, kind of about the same thing. Directions, except it has directions for use. First, clean rubber parts by applying a small amount of New Coat with a clean cloth. Allow to dry, and then again apply New Coat with soft, damp cloth on a thin, even coat. Do not apply too liberally. Merely wet the surface. May be polished with a dry cloth if higher gloss is desired. So, Alec at 12 is my high bidder right as of right now. Norma came in at 10, but I've got Alec at 12. Top of the can right here, just kind of, it's a smaller can, by the way, as well. So let me give you the dimensions on this can as well real quick. Great Kitty, what are you doing? Hey, I want to poke her with a tape measure. Yeah, what are you doing, huh? What are you doing? You decided to get up? You going to come say hi to everybody? Hudson badge. Anthony wants a Hudson badge. Kenny wants a Hudson badge. This can is almost 5 inches tall, not counting the cap. And it is almost 3 across. So, anyway, that's what we've got. Frigidaire Division, General Motors Corporation, Dayton, Ohio. Sebastian says, Great Kitty will outbid everybody. And I've got Norma at 15. Roadkill says, it's made by Studebaker, no, GM. And it says, 1/2 pint, cleans, beautifies, protects, easy to use, dries in 20 minutes on the other side. So, neat little can. I've got Norma at 15. We're going to go ahead and put this one on the timer, 90 seconds. As always, please remember, I will tell you when 30 seconds has passed and a minute has passed as we get ready to wind down the 90 seconds. Be sure to get your bids in early. Think about your maximum bid because inevitably every week I have one pop up later due to a system delay. So be thinking about your max bid and try to get it in there. When we get down to halfway through or down, after a minute's passed, we're down to 30 seconds to make sure it has time to come through. Shop Cat just popped by to say hi and drop in. Sunday evenings are family time. I'm glad you made it. So I've got Alec at 17 right now on the Frigidaire New Coat. As we get ready to put this on the timer, we've got 90 seconds. And here we go. We are on the timer on this one, 90 seconds. Alec at 17. Cool little can, cool colors. I'm guessing it's got to be 50s era, maybe early 60s. All metal. The blue and the yellow graphics. Hi, Great Kitty. You come up to join the auction? Come here, dum-dum. Yes. You're a great kitty. You're a great kitty. So, Alec at 17. Is that the same Frigidaire's kitchen appliances today? I think so. And this still says, General Motors Corporation on it. Hi, Great Kitty. Ralph from snowy South Dakota is on. And 30 seconds has passed. We're getting down to the last minute. I've got Alec at 17. Be thinking about your maximum bids on this Frigidaire New Coat can. It is a cool can. Alec may steal this one at 17. That'd be a pretty good buy because this is a nice can. So, coming up on a minute, be thinking about those maximum bids. As we get close here, 1 minute has passed. Great Kitty is in the way, kind of monkeying things up. I'm keeping an eye on both formats. 1 minute has now passed. We're down to 30 seconds. So, keeping an eye on both formats right now. Getting ready to jot this one down. If the cat will get out of my way so I can write. Glenn says $5 for Great Kitty. Now, 10 seconds left. I've got Alec at 17. Sebastian's at 23 is our high bidder. A few seconds left. Sebastian at 23 on this one. And that will do it. This one's going to Sebastian for 23. That's a cool can. Let me get this wrote up real quick. Yes, hi, Gray Kitty. You decide to come get in the way right when we're busy, right? Yes, that's what you're doing. Ralph, any Buick Wildcat or Riviera Rally wheels in nice shape? No, I've got just used originals, but they're not nice show quality wheels. So Sebastian at 23 on the Frigidaire can. That's a cool piece. That's a good buy, Sebastian. So Gray Kitty, what are you doing tonight? Huh? What are you doing? So Big Job says cat in the hat. Yeah. All right, Gray Kitty, come here. Let's say hi to everybody. Yes, say hi. There, say hi. Can you say hi to everybody? They're watching you. Yes, everybody say, there you go. Say hi. Hi, Gray Kitty. Hi, Gray Kitty. All right. Sebastian, I just like too many things. Yeah. Well, it's not bad things to like. So, in-play, how much for the kitty? No, I think Gray Kitty likes to hang out here. So, number one, he just whistled for you. He just whistled for you. Quit rubbing against everything. You're going to knock it all off the desk, dum-dum. You can't knock everything off the desk. I know you'll try. Ray from Minnesota, International R Series badges and emblems. I have some depending on which ones you need, Ray. So just give me a shout tomorrow and I can get you on my list and see which R badges you need. How about just the kitty's tail? Yeah. What do we got next? Let's do another can. This is kind of a neat one. This is all steel, a little bit different than your standard oil can, but it has good colors, and that's what's great about it. It is all metal with good colors. Rusty Nails made it tonight. Cat, you're being a pest now. Yes, you're being a pest. You are being a pest. Cat, your tail is turning into a problem. Yes. And now you got a piece of tape stuck to it. Glenn from Minnesota. Or Glenn said, hey, Ray from Minnesota. Glenn, I thought you were on. Yeah, I just didn't catch that and didn't read it in time. Number one's already in at $8. For a moment, the cat's tail looked like a question mark. Yeah, she does kind of curl the tip of it. But the next can we've got, this is an all-metal here at Clanking. 1 quart, Pinray, engine cool guard. Add to radiator, prevents engine overheating, makes engines run cooler, dissipates heat faster. Specially designed for air-conditioned cars. So that tells you it's got some age to it right there. This is an empty can. It's been drained from the bottom. Ralph, any C10 Cheyenne Super badges? I don't think I've got any of those. Shopcats Creeping North 400 subs. Be sure to check him out on YouTube. Alex in at 15 already on this one. This does have some good colors, and like I said, specially designed for air-conditioned cars. So that tells you got to be early 60s, maybe mid-60s. Top has a little bit of light surface rust, but you can still see all the markings on it. Bottom has been punched on the bottom, drained out the bottom, so there's nothing in it. And, that's so don't have to worry about anything leaking. But cool guard, specially designed for air-conditioned cars. Cat, what are you tearing up now? You insist on knocking everything off of the desk? But the back has all the instructions for use. Buzz is in at 40 on this one. But it's a neat piece with the instructions. Pinray Corporation, Elk Grove, Illinois. And like I said, all metal, cool can, good colors, good graphics, especially designed for air-conditioned cars. It's great when they put that stuff on there. That guarantees that we know it's old. So anyway, let's get this thing on the timer. I've got Buzz with Roadkill Customs at 40. Sebastian says that is a cool can. Big Job says, nice can. Open up your wallets, can collectors. Here we go. We are on the timer. I've got Buzz with Roadkill at 40. I'm going to write this down on my sheet as we're checking this thing out, as we start rolling down on the timer. And here we go. I've got Buzz at 40 is my high bidder. He may have blown everybody out of the water right out of the gate with that one. But this is a cool can. Like I said, got to be 60s. Good colors, good graphics, nice condition, good piece. 30 seconds has passed. Buzz at 40. Alec came in at 42. I've got Alec at 42 on Facebook. Bill says, I think Gray Kitty's hungry. Cool, Rusty Nails, cool cans for cool cars. Kenny Penray, even similar to the Gulf emblem. Yeah, it is very similar. Buzz is at 50. Roadkill Customs at 50 on this one. Shopcat, only thing saving me money on cool cans is lack of display space. Lucky says, 1 minute has passed. We're down to 30 seconds. I've got Buzz at 50 on the Penray can. So 20 seconds left. Buzz at 50 on the Penray is our high bidder. 10 seconds left. Keep an eye on this one. Here we go. Big John says Buzz is on it. Yeah, it's a cool piece. It really is. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Looks like Buzz is going to take this one home. And yes, he does at 50. All right. And then Joe came in right after that at 52. So there again, we got that feed issue. I apologize, Joe. We missed you on that one because it popped up right after I sold it. So there again, I apologize. I hate that. We're against the mercy of the system. There's not much we can do. So how about we do a badge? Who wants to do a badge next? How about that badge? Anybody thirsty? The badge we've got tonight is an Oldsmobile, like a late 20s era Oldsmobile. Definitely got some chipping in it. We see, up here we have some chipping around here. There's a little bit, looks like a genie lamp up here. Some chipping around that. We do have a lot of the red and a lot of the gold still left on the Oldsmobile symbol. Alex ready to go. I already got bids flying out there on this thing. I've got Alec at 30 as of right now is my high bidder on this thing. So we're going to get the dimensions on this thing, look it over a little bit, and then we'll throw this on the timer. This badge is about 1 3/4 inches across. So we're about 1 3/4 inches, 1 7/8 across. This was one that had the little push button on the back to snap it in, where it was pressed into like the grill shell. This badge is pretty good and flat. It's not buckled or bent or twisted or anything like some of them have been. Like I said, we've got some chipping in the gold or amber down here, a little bit in the red up here, but overall, still some good color here. We still see the wings in this symbol, the little genie lamp up here, I call it. Missing some black here, missing some black here. Got it over here. The outside edge around here still has a decent sheen to it and still looks pretty good. So, neat looking badge. These are a pretty badge with the colors in them, with the amber and the red in it, or crimson and kind of crimson and gold, I guess, would be one way to put it. So I've got Alec at 30 on the Oldsmobile badge. We're going to go ahead and throw this one on the timer and get it ready to boogie. So Alec at 30 on the badge, and here we go. We are on the timer on the Oldsmobile badge, late 20s era Oldsmobile enameled badge. Get this jotted down in my notes. As Alec is our high bidder at 30. As we get rolling on this thing, like I said, please get your bids in early. Make sure they've got enough time to process. We just missed Joe on that last auction, so 30 seconds has passed. We've got 1 minute left. I've got Alec at 30 on the Oldsmobile badge at this point. So keep an eye on both formats as we go along here. And 45 seconds has passed. We are halfway through. If you're going to throw a bid in on there on this one, now's the time to be thinking about your max bid as we get in there. John Anderson, can anyone bid, or do you have to be registered prior? Anybody can bid. Just if you don't pay, you get on the list where you don't get to play anymore. So no, John, if you want to bid, go ahead and jump in. You've got 30 seconds left. Bring it closer to the camera. There it is, Joe. I hope you can see it a little bit better. Try to get it over here to where it doesn't get too fuzzy on you. 10 seconds left. If anybody's going to get another bid, and I've got Alec at 30. And let's see. And that will do it. I've got Alec at 30 on the Oldsmobile badge. So there we go. That one's going out to Alec to add to his badge collection. It is a neat piece. Like I said, a little bit of chipping in it, but still good colors, displays well. Nice piece. How about another can? Anybody want to do another can? Buzz is already on. He already paid for his can. So, let's see here. Yeah, then Chad sends a hired gun out to collect. No, you just don't get to play. You don't get to play with us anymore if you don't pay for your stuff. So it's just that simple. I do this trusting that you guys are going to, uphold your end of the deal. So far, it's worked great. We've had 2 people that didn't pay, so we'll keep doing it. If it turns into one deal where nobody's paying, then obviously we're going to have problems. Joe says more cans. Let's get another can out here. Daniel, in the collector car market, do people collect economy cars? Yes, some people do like economy cars because sometimes a lot of them were never saved, and they're harder to find. The next oil can we got, this is going to be a composite can. It's a cardboard can, but it's a great can. Actually, I'm going to wipe it off a little bit. It looks good, but it's got such great color. I want to polish it up a little bit. Where's the pole barn cans, Roadkill? We're going to give one of those away in trivia tonight, Buzz. I've got one laying down here for trivia. This can really, that's as dirty as it is, but I want to make it a little bit cleaner because it's got great colors on it. So I'm wiping it off a little bit more. I wiped it off earlier, but I want to make this thing look good because it's a great can. Even though it is a composite can, it is cardboard, this thing's cool. I dig it. The only reason I'm selling it is because I've got a couple of them. Okay, here we go. Sunfleet Motor Oil by Sunoco. Like I said, this is cardboard, metal top. It's been drained from the bottom. Top is intact, but great colors on this thing. Super bright yellow Sunoco, bright yellow, bright blue. Sebastian at 25 is already in. I had a couple other bids come in, but Sebastian at 25 was the highest. Super cool Sunoco badge, tractor, bulldozer, truck, semi, cement truck. Of course, car, it looks like a police car, like commercial duty, grader. All kinds of cool graphics on this Sunoco can. Made in the USA. Sun Oil Company, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've got Alec at 35 as my high bidder. I've had a couple of bids pop up there, but Alec at 35 is my high bidder. Big job, easy on the toilet paper. Might go back to shortage again. That's true. Sebastian, that's a very clean paper can. It is. It is a very clean paper can. It's the colors are spectacular. Alec at 35 as of right now is my high bidder on the Sunfleet Sunoco can. So like I said, I'll spin it around. We'll take another look at it. We see all the graphics of all the vehicles on it. And we're going to throw this thing on the timer for 90 seconds. So here we go. We are live on the 90 seconds on the Sunfleet motor oil can. Like I said, top has not been punched, was drained from the bottom, but the colors on this thing are outstanding. Alec at 35 is my high bidder. I'm going to jot this down on my notes so that I have them ready. As Alec is our high bidder at 35, Josh says, don't be cheap, guys. 30 seconds has passed. We've got 1 minute left on this Sunoco Sunfleet motor oil can. And keeping an eye on both formats. Kevin says, very cool colors, very nice. Yeah, it's a cool piece. 45 seconds has now passed. We are halfway through. Alec at 35 is my high bidder on this one. Coming up on a minute, be thinking about your max bids, guys, if you want to throw one in. Dan says, that's a nice can, hard to find. Like I said, these old cardboard ones, eventually, if they've just sat on the shelf with oil in them, they get weathered, they'll just literally collapse. 1 minute has passed, 30 seconds left. I've got Joe at 37 on the Sunoco Sunfleet can. Bussy says he's already got one, so Josh just can't find any Sunoco stations anymore. Joe at 37, 15 seconds left. Joe is my high bidder as we get down to 10 seconds. Just about ready to wrap this one up. I've got Joe at 37. Sebastian came in at 45. And that does it. I've got Sebastian at 45 on the Sunoco can. So then Alec came in at 39 as well, but Sebastian outbid everybody at 45 on the Sunoco Sunfleet. So there's the cans and the badge. I got one other thing. I don't know if you guys were interested in bidding on it or not. It's a little bit better piece. Classic Ride Society's checking in. Tulsa Swap Meet was really good this past Friday. I thought about that, but there's one. The one in Ark City was this weekend too, and I didn't make either one of them. I wanted to, but Sebastian says his heart's jumping out of his chest. But I got one other piece that I wanted to run by you guys and see if anybody was interested in it. It is a small sign. It's kind of rough. It's kind of crusty, but it is embossed. So, I mean, it could actually be repainted because it is embossed stamped steel. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, maybe we'll sell it too. Yep, Josh, Classic Ride Society hangs out with us quite a bit. Just about every week they hang out in here with us. So, Pete, is there a publication for the swap meets? I don't know of one national one other than just like checking Old Cars Weekly and Hemmings and things like that. Alex says, yep, I think Alec wants to check out the sign as well. So I don't know if you guys are going to be interested in bidding on this thing or not. I've got a couple of these, but they're all kind of crusty. So I thought I'd throw one up there. Jess says, let's see it. Let's get on with it. So here it is. This is dependable Delco light used here. Classic Ride Side. The big one in Texas is this week. Pate at Texas Motor Speedway is sold out. 15 miles of walking to see the whole thing. Dependable Delco light used here. This, like I said, it is tin. It is stamped, embossed steel. You can see the shape of the letters in it, even though it does have some surface rust. Buzz says he's gonna F this deal up for everybody. He's in at 100. So that's a good start. It is a cool sign. But it is, let me give you the dimensions on this thing. It is 19.5 inches long. And it is 9 inches tall. We've got Buzz at 100 right out of the gate. Like I said, the Delco light is pretty obvious. Buzz says, I don't need the dimensions. He doesn't care. He just digs it. But it's all stamped in. The Delco light, obviously, you can kind of see where the dependable was used here. I saw a nice one of these that sold, but it brought like $500 for a nice one. But obviously, this isn't that piece. So, but it does have, it's not rusted out. It's not rusted away. All the corners are here. The back of it, you can definitely see the embossing on the back of it very clearly, how that's all stamped in there. Big John just says Buzz sold. Yeah. It's a little bit wavy, but it is just thin tin. But like I said, this corner is rolled under, but all the corners are here. and it's not rotted away. It's just surface rust. It is embossed steel. Has a great look to it. Has some cat fur hanging off of it. But it's a neat piece. Sebastian says the patina is very cool. Josh, that'd be sweet to get a vintage AC Delco sign that size. Number one, I've never even drank Delco beer. That's a good point. I never thought of it that way, number one. Matt says it's cool. Bill, you know how many of those I threw away when I was helping his family with the Sunoco gas station? Yeah. Number one says a sweet trans tunnel. Big says drop the hammer. Actually, I haven't even got on the timer, and Buzz is outbid. I've got Alec at 105. So I'm just getting ready to get done talking about it and start putting it on the timer. It was blue. We can see some blue over here, and we can see some blue over here, and then yellow letters. So let's get this thing on the timer. I've got Buzz at 120 now. So we're live on the timer. 90 seconds left. Be thinking about this one. This one's already getting a little interesting. Buzz made this thing interesting right out of the gate. So he says he wants it. It's a neat piece. Like I said, it's a patina piece. But the thing about it, there's patina where it gets so bad where you're missing chunks of the sign because they're rusty. How many do I have? I don't remember. I had a couple of them, but I don't even know where the rest of them are at. This one I had laying out, and that's why I just grabbed it and sold it. So I don't even know where the rest of them are at. The rest of them are worse than this, though. There's less lettering. You know, most of them had no paint whatsoever left on them. So this was the best one I had. 45 seconds has passed. I've got Alec at 125 on this sign. 45 seconds has passed. Alec at 125 on Facebook is my high bidder. And like I said, Buzz came back at 150, and 1 minute has passed. We're down to 30 seconds. Should be able to fold that in a normal letter size envelope. I don't think that's going to fold up into an envelope. Buzz at 150. 110 has passed. 20 seconds left on this one as we get ready to wind down. I've got Buzz at 150 on this sign. It is a cool piece, embossed steel, so it is a legit deal, not something somebody just painted. 5 seconds left. Alec at 155. 155 with Alec. We're coming down to the wire. And I've got Alec at 155. That's it. We're out of time. Alec at 155. Buzz just got beat. And he did come back at 160, but we were out of time. I apologize, everybody, but that happens. That's why we always got to be thinking about our max bids on those. So I appreciate everybody playing along. And I've got Alec at 155 on the sign. So anyway, that's what we had for tonight. I appreciate everybody playing along. It was a lot of fun. As always. Number one, I told you having auctions after Hudson Badges was $1 million idea. Hudson Badge. So that's what we had for auction pieces tonight. Had a lot of fun with you guys tonight on them. And glad we all had a blast. Number one says 2 more items for auction. I don't want to wear everybody out on auctions. We still got to do a magazine and stuff tonight. I'm going to shut that off. Sebastian says at least one more. Well, let me see what I got laying around here. I got a little box of knickknacks over here I keep around just for this. Let's see what we got laying here on the other side. One more. All right, let's see what we got over here. Hold on. Okay, we'll do one more small piece real quick, and then we're going to get to the magazine because I don't want to keep everybody waiting on the magazine. We'll do one more little small, cheaper badge, and then we'll get rolling. Was that a heavy item? Excuse me, Groner's back killing me. Now, that was the box weighs about 10 pounds, this little box of badges and emblems and stuff. Let's see. Roadkill wants to go home with something good. $6 for the kitty. Let's see. We'll do one more little badge tonight. Yeah, that's true. Classic Ride Side. And I've actually thought about, putting a monitor back here for you guys to see, as well. But yeah, it's just tough. That's why I try to read it out, or try to announce it. But we'll do another little badge tonight. Nothing fancy. We'll do it real quick, and then we're going to get on to the magazine because I know some of you guys do want to get to the magazine. But we'll do how about we do a little Ford badge? I didn't even get time to clean this one up. I got nothing to polish it with. I don't like selling them if they've been polished. How about a little Ford badge? Anybody want a little Ford badge? This is just an all-metal, stamped badge. Nothing exotic, just a cool little ornament piece. Number 1 says 11. Joe says $100 on the Diamond T. This is a 3-inch Ford badge. By about 1 3/8 inches. So I've got Steel Pony's Jeff Taylor at 15 on the little Ford badge. Alec came in at 15 as well. So I've got 2 guys at 15 right now on the little Ford badge. It is bent a little bit. I don't have any steel wool here. I'd polish it up a little bit so it would look a little better. Jess is in at 20 on the Ford badge. I'm going to go ahead and throw this thing on the timer. We'll get this wrapped up so then we can get to the magazine tonight. And here we go. Jess at 20 she came in right before Alec again. We're going to put this on the timer right now. I've got number 1 at 22 is our high bidder. Roadkill, that Ford badge is really kind of cute, but I might have to go drink myself to sleep. Yep. All right. We're on the timer on this last little badge we're going to knock out tonight. I've got number 1 at 22. I've got Alec at 26 on the little Ford badge. As we're on the timer on this thing right now, Laura says 30s Ford. That's what it is, something in the 30s Ford. I don't know what year exactly. 30 seconds has passed. I've got Alec at 26 on the little Ford badge. Keep an eye on both formats as we come up at the halfway point on the timer. 45 seconds has now passed. I guess I can hold my phone up and show you guys as we're going. I could do that with the other hand. As we come up on 1 minute, I've got Alec at 26. And we got I can't read it that well from the back. 20 seconds left. I've got Alec at 26 right now as our high bidder. And we're just about done with this thing. Alec at 26. 10 seconds left. Wrapping it up. Looks like we've got Alec at 26. And that'll do it. Alec at 26 on the little Ford badge. Get this jotted down in my notes. All right. Sweet. Cool beans. Had a lot of fun with that tonight. Glad you guys played along. Let's see. What else we got going on? Bob John, how do you get so good at body work with that liquor? John, classic ride society Pate coming up. Can't sleep at night. Gasser, got to go enjoy the evening. And then David W. just came in at 28. We just got that feed coming through. So Pete says $100 for the 10-pound box of badges. Now there's a lot of badges in there for $100. Josh says, tell Alec to join us on YouTube. Alec, they want you to hang out with everybody on YouTube. So if you want to hang out on Facebook, that's fine too. But everybody wants you to join on YouTube if you feel like it. Mike from New Waverly, Texas is on. Let's see. Even with shipping multiple items, the exchange rate is prohibitive over a certain dollar amount. I understand, number one. I fully understand. I know that you guys are up against the exchange rate, and I definitely understand that that's an issue for you. Big job. You need a foot-operated power neon Hudson badge. Now, Sebastian says, how much would I sell the box for? Oh, there's a lot of stuff in that box. Hudson badge. We'll get to all of it eventually. Don't worry. Because most of this stuff is extras to be sold. A whole box of miscellaneous. But this thing is pretty much full of badges, emblems, few license plate pieces. So there's a lot of cool stuff we're going to be getting out of there here in the near future. Let's see. Kevin says magazine. That's where we're headed. Josh, do you have any badges or magazine with articles on Pontiac torpedoes in the 40s? I've got some Pontiac torpedoes in the 40s. So Alex says he'll try to get set up for next week, so maybe he can start joining us on YouTube. So hopefully that'll work out, and Alec can be over there as well. Time for the magazine. I know you guys have been waiting on the magazine. We need to get into it, especially considering when I grabbed this magazine, I saw a couple cool things, but I didn't think there was going to be a ton in it, but there was a lot of cool stuff in it. So, Brian, yep, shipping to Canada is out of this world. That's for sure. Tonight, we're getting into Motor Trend, January 1978. Obviously, the front didn't mean much to me. Import car of the year. I didn't pay much attention to that. So, but there was a lot of other cool stuff in here that we're going to get rolling. I'm going to keep moving through this since we did spend a little more time on auctions than what we had planned. Bob, is that Dolly Parton up on the wall? No, that's Heather Thomas up on the wall. Norma says, great auction. Yeah, it was a great auction. It was a lot of fun. As always, when we start out with the Motor Trend, we always start with the Detroit Report. So let's get to the Detroit Report real quick. Including Motor Trend editor and publisher Robert Brown presents Motor Trend's first ever truck of the year to Bill Benton, Ford general manager. So first ever truck of the year, 1978, was going to Ford. That was the presentation ceremony for it. Big job. Make it easier on yourself and have an auction night and take the cash. Yeah. Sebastian says we always like the cigarette ads. There's a few of those in here too. But something that was kind of interesting, obviously we talk about this a little bit when we see these articles, with the big push to EV. Now it's actually not an electric Chevette, number one. This was the XDH1, which is the name of the Sears battery car. The XDH1, electric cars in general are suddenly in vogue. Besides the XDH1, Chrysler and GE, spurred by a substantial infusion of government funds, have announced their intentions to build a pair of prototype electrics by spring of 79. But this one was actually the Sears battery car XDH1 that was being tested in 1977, 78. There's a picture of it. Not the most attractive car ever made, but there again, this is the beginning. I mean, obviously electric vehicles have been around since the turn of the century. They've been working, valiantly trying to get something that would work for years, even back in the 70s. So, road color, any rusty signs in the magazines, jump ahead. Scott says turkey hunt for sure. So, always interesting to see the early electric stuff. The next page of the Detroit Report was very interesting. A couple things we need to check out here. How about a Cadillac limo? The big old stretch caddy. This was kind of an interesting one. I'll read you the story behind it real quick. Built-in refrigeration, color television with video cassette tape system, ultra quadraphonic sound system, and crystal beverage service are among the goodies housed in the wall-to-wall console inside this caddy limo built by Phaeton Coach Corporation of Dallas. This one's going to Saudi Arabia's royal family. Pete says, looks like a Chevette with an aerodynamic front. Yeah, it kind of does. Something else, a couple of other interesting things. Wasn't that the limo in Die Hard? I don't remember, actually. But another thing in the Detroit report, this was kind of interesting as well. Renegade's Garage. Would you be interested in some Barb books? Branham Auto Reference books? Possibly. I think I've had some other guys ask me about those. If they're what, I had another viewer call me about something he had. That I had, he was telling me about him. I think that's what he was talking about. Sebastian says that was a serious limo. RAV4, they were traveling in style with that caddy, that's for sure. Kevin, prom nights were a blast in those limos. Yeah, it was quite a deal, that's for sure. Made for the king, that's exactly right. A little blurb in the Detroit report was Rent a Wreck. Yep, literally, that's what it was called. Rent a Wreck says right here. Rent a Wreck says it right on their sign. Scott, leave the bar out. They don't drink. Renegade's Garage says you can have them. Well, yeah, if you want to give me a shot, we'll see if we can figure something out as far as getting them shipped or whatever. But with names like Rent a Wreck in Los Angeles and Lisa Lemon in Raleigh, North Carolina, the car rental biz may never be the same. But the renting of used cars, and outwardly ill-kept ones at that, could be catching on to the tune of $600,000 a year. That's what the two burgeoning low-budget rental lots, both of which are planning franchises across the country, are said to be grossing by renting junkyard iron, some of it in need of paint, upholstery, or bodywork, but which is also said to be in excellent mechanical condition and at prices far below those of Hertz, Avis, or other traditional rental car companies. Obviously, we know today that didn't work out, but somebody sure tried it back in the late 70s. Big John remembers Rent-A-Wrecks. The other one, just like Sebastian just noticed in the Detroit report, was the hot Chrysler Turbine. Chrysler, which doesn't like to copy or take a lead from GM or Ford, continues to march down its own path towards the development of alternative power plants. The corporation recently showed its 7th-generation turbine-powered concept car based on the LeBaron. So this was another Chrysler turbine concept car. Brian says, radiator grill on a 30 Model A. Yeah, I think that's what that badge probably was, Brian. So a couple of interesting things in the Detroit report in this issue. As we flip forward a few more pages, kind of funny, somebody asked about the Ferrari sign. World premiere of the Ferrari 308 GTS 8-cylinder roadster was one of the high points of the 47th Frankfurt International Motor Show. Designed by Pininfarina and produced by Ferrari and Carrozzeria Scaglietti, it represents the natural development of the 308 GTB. Let's see. Sears doesn't get enough credit as an auto dealer or supplier. They sold cars in the 20s and 30s, Allstate and Henry J. That's correct, number one. They did sell a lot of cars, a lot of parts, things like that. Pete, coolest the LeBaron ever looked. So, but the 308 GTS, obviously, definitely one of my favorite Ferraris. That's what mine was. Mine was a 308 GTSI Quattro valve. So obviously, growing up in the 80s, the 308, and then of course the Testarossa after that. But the 308 was always one of my more favorite cars. The 8-cylinder car, always a much more user-friendly type car versus the 12-cylinder cars. So the 308 GTS, unveiling definitely stood out to me. Just kind of ironic. One of our friends asked about the Ferrari sign as well tonight, that we had a Ferrari in the magazine. That's right, Jason. Magnum PI. That's why I wanted one. So, Sebastian, they made 50 turbine cars, 63 and 40 of them were crushed. Yeah, there's still a few of them. Number one, is the 308 the Magnum PI car? Yes, it is. They made 3 different versions, actually, of the 308. They made the 308 GTS, which is what this is. This is the early one. They made a GTB a little bit before this that came out a little bit before. The 308 GTS was a carbureted 3-liter 8-cylinder. The next version of it was the 308 GTSI, which was when they added fuel injection to it. So it was GTSI for injected. The third and final version, which is what my car was, which was from 83 through 85. Mine was an 84, was the 308 GTSI Quattro valve, which obviously they went to 4 valve per cylinder on the injected 3 liter in the Ferrari 308 from 83 to 85. So, Jason, me and Mac have arrived. Glad you're here. Roadkill, don't even need to wait for the Hudson badge anymore. If the buyer wants to sell, email the YouTube page. So there's the Hudson badge. So all right, let's flip forward a few more pages here to kind of an interesting article. X-raying Chrysler's Omni and Horizon. Chrysler delayed almost a decade before entering the subcompact market with the Dodge Omni and the Plymouth Horizon. As the last in, they're the first out with a small, space-efficient American front-wheel drive car. Jason's ready to go. Ready for some Hudson badge. And this was literally X-raying the Omni and Horizon. You know, these see-through sketches and designs where they were breaking this thing down. I mean, this was new technology for the day. Completely new technology for the day. But it shows a lot of stuff on how these cars were put together, suspension systems, things like that. Jason says he's trying to catch up. Kevin says, easy, Jason. You're just getting going here. Even showed dimensions, interior, exterior, legroom, broke all that down. Like I said, this was, you know, a lot of people were still used to big cars at this point. This was different. You know, American manufacturer, front-wheel drive, compact car. People were starting to get used to seeing them, but this was all new technology with this front-wheel drive stuff. How's it going to work? How's it going to last? Things like that. Definitely a different world compared to nowadays where they're everywhere. And more actual dimensions on what to expect when you saw one of these cars. Let's move up forward here a few pages to another article. Motor Trend's 1978 Domestic Car of the Year, the nominees. This was not announced in this issue, but the nominees. What's cool about it is a really nice, big, full 2-color page spread of the nominees of the 1978 Car of the Year. Obviously caught my eye with the 78 Turbo Regal right in the middle in the action shot, especially being this is kind of that goldish color, which is exactly a twin to the one that is sitting about 40 feet south or 40 feet to the east of me right now. So this one has a two-tone brown on top with just the kind of the goldish on the side. My car is solid, just the gold, it's not two-tone. So that caught my eye. But a lot of cool stuff here. The 442 Cutlass with the, you know, in the fastback design. You know, AMC had one in the running. The, you know, the Omnis that we just looked at, the Omni and the Reliant, Grand Prix, Cutlass, Malibu, Fairmont, and then, of course, the Regal. Number one fastback G-Body Salon. Sure didn't get payola for GM for that. Big job. Buddy Wars had a Pinto in high school. Nobody wanted to be seen in it, so... Hudson badge. Testing the Car of the Year nominees, the American Motors Concorde, the Buick Regal Turbo V6, the Chevrolet Malibu Classic, the Dodge Omni, the Ford Fairmont, the Oldsmobile Cutlass 442. Oh, actually, that other Oldsmobile was not a Cutlass. It was a Delta 88 diesel. The Delta 88 diesel was the other Oldsmobile. I did not correctly identify the front end from the picture backwards in the camera. As well as the Plymouth Horizon and the Pontiac Grand Prix. They start to do some testing on these cars in this article, but do not announce the winner at this point. But a lot of cool pictures, a lot of cool cars. And I did look it up in case anybody is curious, since we don't go in a numerical order in these magazines. We bounce around. The Car of the Year for 1978 was the Omni and Horizon. So Nope, Kevin, Monte Carlo did not make the cut that year. However, the Oldsmobile 88 diesel did. They tested the diesel 88 for it. So definitely a cool article there. The next article, another vehicle that there again in today's world, in today's collector market, is off the rails. And that is the Ford Bronco. Has Ford built the ultimate Bronco? And super cool, real super action shot. They got the whole front end off the air on this Bronco. Now, this is a very, very early production model. Yeah, right, pieces. Look at the body roll on those cars they're testing. That's for sure. This is the 78 grill, but still round headlight before they went to the square headlights. So early production, of course. This is a testing version. Check out the old school Ford hubcaps. I wonder if those lasted after the truck landed and right after they took this picture. Grant's on. Straight six fan. Disappointing since I owned a 78 Fairmont and now a 79 Grand Prix. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Grant just got a 79 Grand Prix on Straight Six fan. Check out his new project car. That's right. Kevin says it is a great action shot. Obviously, these things are off the rails on collectability and value today. But there again, this was, and you got to remember, this was the first redesign of the Bronco. Number one, that's not body roll, it's action photography. Yep, that's it. But some more good action shots on the Bronco. Show it coming down a steep hill, digging through the sand. So really looks like they put this thing through its paces when they did this. But that's why the article stood out. Broncos are crazy popular, and they're neat pieces. And like I said, finding a good one today is tough. A couple more articles, then we're going to roll into some ads. Grant, Straight Six fan, just shot the walk-around video today on the Grand Prix, so that should pop out here in about 10 days. Yep, Alex says pricey for collectors. That's for sure. They have gotten that. Broncos have definitely gotten that way. But you got to remember, when this article came out, new redesign, different deal, whole different world, that is just going to be better than the old Bronco. New model. Nobody really knew much about them. They've been making about 10 years. The old ones had basically no options on them whatsoever. This one was more like a truck and had all the regular truck stuff. So, Straight Six fan, Grant may do a short on the Grand Prix in between time. So keep an eye out for that. Next article we're going to check out. I thought this one was pretty cool. Getting into the motorsports arena, high-speed voices. Now, in today's world, we watch NASCAR, we watch anything, and the drivers can talk to their pit crews. They've got their mic'd up. They can have communication while they're doing it. And it really made me think back, when I saw this article, I was like, wow, yeah, I didn't even realize that. Big job. Yeah, my brother bought one of those 78 Broncos brand new. Hey, this is going to be shocking news to everybody. Jason just stumbled across another mint condition empty Miller High Life can. Wonder how that happened. Bet it had nothing to do with that. Number one, making an F-150 base made them equal to Blazer capabilities. Yeah, I'm sure you're exactly right. That's what they were trying to do, was get caught up with the Blazer. That's what Tony said as well. This next article, high-speed voices. Obviously, you can turn NASCAR on, and they'll have in-car banter and things like that on TV anymore. That's what this article was talking about. High-speed voices. It's bye-bye to blackboards as racing communication gets sophisticated. And you think about that, you look at the old pictures where they're out there with a sign where they write in chalk, pit next time, or, things like that. This was the beginning of, radio in race cars. There's a few more pages on that with some cool pictures we'll get to when we get to the back of the magazine. We're going to look at one more article on the way to it, and then we're going to get into some ads. The last article we're going to look at, and I know this is going to shock everyone, because this is January of 78, and it's about insurance. Auto insurance. High rates dictate motorists' buying needs. Skyrocketing car insurance premiums pose a major economic and social problem for the nation's 132 million motorists. More than 90 million cars are insured, many at a cost drivers find difficult to afford. Wow. We just write April 24th, 2022 on this article, and it didn't say the same thing. So I don't think it made any difference. So it's like, wow, that's shocking. The only difference now is it's even worse because of airbags and all the safety equipment that's so expensive that makes it even worse. But yeah, magazine says January of 78. You read this article and it just will say April 24th of 2022 because it says the same thing in it. Car insurance is going through the roof. It's expensive and it's hard to afford and it's a pain in the butt, but you got to have it. So we'll keep working our way through to the back of this magazine. We'll catch a few more of the pictures with the Racing Radio article. Then we're going to get into some ads. Now you listen here, Daryl, or so Gatorade crew chief Buddy Parrott seems to be saying to Chatterbox chauffeur Daryl Waltrip during a recent Riverside race. Fellow crewman Robert Yates eavesdrops at the right. Number one, if automation keeps engulfing car technology, insurance will be obsolete. So, but like I said, there's some cool pictures I definitely wanted to catch with this Racing Radio article since it was something at the time new and different. And one more picture of Daryl Waltrip in the Gatorade car in an old school mid-70s Monte Carlo. Showing his racing helmet with his, with his microphone on. Now you're used to a microphone being about, that big. The picture of his is almost this big. As crazy as that sounds. We put this up to the picture. There's not much size difference between the two of them compared to what those guys had to wear back then. Big job. 1973. My brother was going to buy a 429 Mustang, and the insurance man said, no, you can't afford the insurance at your age. Gatorade number 88. Matt's got to bail off. Glad you were here tonight. X-Ray Dean just joined. Love ripping through the S's at Riverside. So glad you're here with us, X-Ray. Hope you enjoy it. And hope you want to come back and hang out with us more. We do this every Sunday night. Anyway, let's check out some ads. Then let's do some trivia. Then let's talk about some new inventory. And let's talk about what's coming up next week. So, and the raffle. Starting off with some ads. We'll start off with let's see, number one, that car in the 7-Eleven and the Wrangler jeans were the most recognizable in the crowd on TV. We'll start off with Seagram 7. It's good to know it's in there. Obviously wanting to make their liquor look like it's fit for a king. So if you're new to us, we do mix a few cigarette and liquor ads in, especially in these 70s magazines, just because it is such a sign of the times. Next ad. Ford Motor Company. It's tough to be a Ford Motor Company transmission. First, it's got to pass these 22 tough tests. So we'll take a look at this real quick. And this is literally a test showing how the tests that Ford puts their transmissions through before they go in a car. And somebody looks kind of familiar to me on there. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't say that that's Bill Cosby, but it sure looks like Bill Cosby as a spokesman for Ford. Big Job can't remember what the raffle was. It's right behind me, Big Job. So Jason says, gobble, gobble. Actually, no turkeys tonight. I was a little disappointed. Figured we'd have one. Nothing. No turkeys tonight. We'll flip forward a few more pages to an ad that, even though it's a little bit off course for the car magazine, Sebastian says he wants the testing machine that's in the ad. Alec, Gray Kitty Talkative. No, actually, that's another one that came in. It was meowing. That was JJ up there meowing. The ads we always have to show from the 70s, just because it was so 70s, is come to where the flavor is, you're Marlboro Man. Always wearing like a big leather jacket, cowboy hat, and Marlboro. So Jason says, I thought I heard a putty tat. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them in here right now. As well as the Marlboro Man, probably the other definitive cigarette ad from the 70s, Kool, Kool. Now, I remember these. These were my grandma smoked when I was a little kid. The most refreshing taste you can get in any cigarette. Nice, quiet brook out in the country, trees and everything, showing you how calm and peaceful smoking a Kool cigarette would be. Sebastian, of all the old machining equipment from car companies, wonder how much survives today. Number one, you can't smoke those thick winter ranch gloves, trust me. Scott says that ad's BS. I've been through 4 transmissions in the last 12 years. Well, they must have changed their testing procedures unless your vehicle's a 78. So next ad we're going to check out, you might recognize something in this ad from a little earlier. This is part of the reason I went with one of the badges tonight. His Majesty, the Camaro Z28 for 1978. Anything look familiar? Kind of like right there. That's why I pulled this badge out. I've had this one laying here, and we hadn't got to it. I saw this ad. I was like, perfect night for that. Tweedly D says camel ads. I don't think we had any camel ads tonight. I think there's one other cigarette ad, but I don't think it's camel. Dispatch, Brian, are the 78, 79 Broncos as collectibles, the older small ones? Yeah, pretty much. They've gone bonkers the last couple of years. So, number one says, Scott, the third time you must have thought it's not the transmission. So. But there's the 78 Camaro ad. Joe Emma says, Lee Shepard, 78 Camaro. Yep, I remember that well. Let's see. What else do we have to check out? Oh, the big center spread. A matter of record, Goodyear tires. A Shelby Goodyear tire ad. Centerfold, had to turn it up right to read it. We're talking about Ford's win at Le Mans and using Goodyear tires, Goodyear Blue Streak tires. If you'll notice, the blue streaks really seem to pop out on this ad. Yeah, that's obviously by design. Number one, they never had that yellow dash, did they? That I don't know. I don't think so. Next ad we're going to look at, this is a super cool ad to me. I've always loved this ad. Obviously, if you remember, my Turbo Regal's back in the corner right now. I haven't driven it in 25 years, but I still got it back there. There are 4 turbocharged production cars in the entire world. 2 of them are Buicks. Jason says that'd be an awesome poster. Yeah, it would be an awesome poster. The other 2 cars are the Porsche Turbo Carrera and the Turbo Saab. America's only turbocharged production automobile engine. Buick, a little science, a little magic. Great ad. I've always liked this ad. But, of course, there again, it's got a Turbo Regal in it, very similar to mine. Next ad, 2-page, full color. Ford introduces Futura, a dramatic combination of styling and technology for 1978 and beyond, the Ford Fairmont Futura. Bill says, see you Tuesday. Everybody say, Bill, I'm not going to be on Tuesday, actually. I've got some stuff going on Tuesday afternoon, and I don't know if I'm going to be done. So I'm going to plan on not doing Toy Tuesday, Bill. So just because I don't know when I'll be back. Scott, 1 original, 2 factory rebuilt transmission, now a Jasper that didn't hold up. Joe, Turbo Regal in black. Obviously like Turbo Regals in black. All the guys with 67, 69 Camaros, you two say how they ruined them when they came out in the day. Number one, I read an old article that Carroll said he wore the hat because it hurt less than a wrench he threw if they lost. I've never heard that, but that's a heck of a story. Red and Argo said Carroll said he wore a hat because it hurt less than a wrench when he threw it if they lost. That's an interesting way to put it. Sebastian met a guy who has an all-original Bronco he bought in the 80s and told me he had it appraised at $110,000. Another gas monkey failure. Yeah, I think they did do one of those that they like chrome wrapped, if I remember correctly. Another ad we're going to check out. This is kind of cool. There again, we got to remember we're in 1978. Craig invites you to listen to the richest, deepest, full-range sound ever heard in a car stereo speaker. The Craig Series R Trans Rib speakers. Check those babies out. Yep. You had to slap a set of those in your Trans Am back in the day if you were out cruising. Next one, this is a great one, and I think we've seen this ad before in some of our other magazines from this era, but it is such a great ad, it's worth checking out again. A new set of adult toys from Dodge. Dodge's 1978 line of adult toys can do everything tough Dodge trucks have always been known for, but they go a lot further than that. They're fun to drive, fun to be seen in, and fun to own. See that 4x4 Ram Charger? That looks like a hard-working station wagon. It looks more like a convertible when you take off the optional hardtop. That dynamic short bed with the solid oak stake sides is Warlock, which has got to be the ultimate status pickup. Most of the goodies you see on it are standard, along with a couple of other dozen you can't see. The imposing two-tone machine in the foreground is called the Macho Power Wagon. Macho. The Macho Power Wagon, and it delivers everything the name implies, inside and out, with a standard roll bar and full-time four-wheel drive to back it up. And, of course, there's our street van. Based on America's most popular van-type vehicle, the Dodge Tradesman, it comes right from the factory with gear that gives you a great start on your own one-of-a-kind set of wheels. Right there they are, everybody. Joe, the Buick Regal in light blue and dark blue top, nice looking car. Yeah, a lot of those. I like a lot of Regals though. Big job. Those are high speed speakers. Old school, fun. Classic ride side. I love the old aftermarket wheel heads. Yeah. Let's see. Jason, rib for your pleasure. Kevin, hey everyone, I enjoyed the night. Stay safe. Enjoy the week. Thanks. Glad you made it tonight. Obviously, these are great. I got a buddy doing a Warlock right now. A Warlock with I think he ordered the 6.2 crate Hemi for it, with a 6-speed. He's putting an awesome Warlock together. So can't wait to see that come together as well. Next page. Introducing the 1978 Chrysler LeBaron. There are many new size personal luxury cars, but this is the car that started it all. Introducing the 1978 Chrysler LeBaron. Oh, the speakers are ribbed for your pleasure. That's right. Okay, I'm with you, Jason. Roger, Ford in Australia had Future in the 65 two-door hardtop. Dispatch, O.J. Simpson did ads for Chevy in 69. That's right, Brian, in that football thing you sent me, he was in there. So Alex, a Mopar fan, that Mopar ad was great. I mean, that truck ad was just killer for the times. And let's flip to the back cover, catch two more ads on the back cover. Then we're going to play some trivia, and we're going to talk about the raffle, some new inventory, and next week on videos. One more cigarette ad. We didn't have Camels tonight, but this ad really, I don't think they really made it very long, but I'm realistic. I only smoke Facts. Yep. Fact cigarettes. Fact, we don't want your taste buds to go to sleep. Fact 2, we have smoke scrubbers in our filter. Fact 3, we have a patent on flavor in our low tar cigarettes. Fact cigarettes, literally Fact cigarettes. I don't think that one ever took off. I don't remember seeing much of those around. Of course, I never smoked, but Fact cigarettes, plain and simple. Classic ride side, Corinthian leather era. Yeah, could be. Number 1, you might be listening to music wrong. Yeah, Fact 4. Number 1 says Fact 4, you're going to die. They missed. Yep, they forgot that, number 1. They could have got it in here. Oh, they did get their little warning down here, but they could have just put it right there. They'd have had room. It's a good point. That's a good way to put it. Fact 4, you're going to die. Let's look at that LeBaron ad one more time. You got my curiosity up now. Nope, did not mention Corinthian leather, but it does say with the finest Chrysler options available, like genuine leather seating. So just genuine leather seating, not Corinthian yet in the LeBaron. Let's see. Introducing the new Dodge Challenger on the back cover, a beautiful new GT import from Dodge. I think these were Mitsubishi based, if I remember correctly. Dan, yeah, on a quiet night, you can listen to your Ram Charger rusting away in your driveway. Daniel, what type of brochures do people like? Brochures, a lot of people like brochures for their specific vehicles, or people collect brochures based on the type, maybe they like Regals, or maybe they like these little Dodge Challengers. They'll collect based on a certain type of vehicle, their own personal vehicles, or just anything they like, too. Some people just get them with anything they like. Classic Ride Society, fact, we're all going to die someday. We choose our own poison. Yep. Kenny says, fact, for actually crappy tobacco. That's probably, Kenny, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually where they came up with that ad, to be honest with you. So, the Motor Trend of January 1978. There we go. That's it. Like I said, a lot more meat in this one than I thought. The import stuff, as a lot of you guys know, I don't really get into it much. I don't know nothing about it, so we skipped over most of that. But still a ton of great material in this issue, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, let's talk about the wrap. Well, let's do trivia real quick. Let's catch trivia. We got to give away that can from Dalton at Pole Barn Garage. This is kind of a neat one. It's something a little bit different. Tonight's can, it's pop. No, not soda pop. It's pop. Positive oil protection with ZNDP. Whatever ZNDP is. Must sound important. Cool can. It is metal. Good colors. Pop. Positive oil protection for today's engine demands. Group X11 Inc., Denver, Colorado is where it came from. We can see the seam over here. Gives a lot of these Q&A on this side of the can. So there's tonight's trivia question, the can for tonight's trivia winner. Jason, did you win? Yeah, you did win last week. Yeah, you did win last week, so you're out. But I need your address yet on the other ones. So, pop oil protection. I'm going to go ahead and get the timer ready on this one. Anybody that watched this video, I'm sure is going to get this one. But we are going to put it on the timer just in case. Just that's how we do it. But when I was on the loader video, I showed you I was washing the loader, cleaning up, getting ready to go to the yard. What did I not have to worry about while I was driving the loader to the yard? I've got it on the timer right now, keeping an eye on both formats. There was a section I put in there I don't have to worry about when I was roading the loader out to the yard. There was something I didn't have to worry about. So, but anyway, like I said, Rico's already on it with the speed limit. Jason says crap, so apparently he read it. Yeah, I actually put an arrow, a flashing arrow, where the speed. Yeah, old school was right after that as well. So I had Rico right on that one. And like I said, anybody that watched that was going to catch it. So just Jeff, Steel Ponies, Jeff there, speed limit. Big job had it. Yep. Kevin says the wind. Yeah. Yeah, Jason said he did know. Yeah, it was super windy that day, but that machine weighs 23,000 pounds. So it wasn't blowing me around very bad. Old school says I'm a slow typer. But yeah, there was wind noise because it was windy that day. Of course, Shayla was behind me in her little yellow bug. So we were yellow and yellow going out. Or the big yellow and the little yellow. She followed me out in the little yellow bug with her flashers on. Frank's thirsty. Don't blame me. I ain't showed you that in a while. Joe says zinc P. I guess that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know. But we got Rico tonight on that. But yep, I didn't have to worry about breaking the speed limit. Speed limit was 65 on the highway. Shayla said I was running in the 12 to 15 range. So anyway, we'll get this one to Rico. Or maybe I'll throw it in with Jess's stuff. So let's go to the same place. So Dan, I hit the wrong letter. So Daniel, what type of brochures? Not talking about the vehicle, type of book. Sales. There's all that stuff. Of course, sales guides that the salesmen used are getting phased out because of computers, but those are great collectibles. The old big thick salesman's albums where they would show potential buyers. Jess has yet put it with her stuff. So, the different options and different body styles and things like that available. All that stuff are good collectibles. Hudson badge. So anyway, Rico's our winner tonight. Like I said, I figured anybody that actually watched that video, because I put a big blue arrow on it and said I didn't have to worry about it. So obviously a lot of you guys did watch it because there was several correct answers, all there pretty quick. So anyway, raffle next week. Yes, next week. Holy cow. Next week, we're going to give away this Sinclair porcelain pump plate, original metal porcelain, to the winner. Who is in as of right now? If you think you have paid me to get in, and I don't read your name off, be sure to get a hold of me. Let's see. Daniel, where can I get dealership posters and vehicle samples of that stuff? Watch for dealer auctions. That's your best bet. A lot of that stuff got thrown away, but watch for dealer auctions or look online. But a lot of that big posters and displays are tough to ship. So, Sebastian says he'll be in by Thursday. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that. Jason says he has an old Rolls Royce leather sample. That'd be cool. Joe, some are called silver books that dealer use for options as well. So, but anyway, who is in as of this point? There are 18 people in. We're going to pull 3 names. I'll tell you what, if we get 2 more, and Sebastian says he's getting in, so we'll need 1 more plus Sebastian, we will pull 4 names. I'll come up with something else little for the 4th name. So 2 more people need to get in. Sebastian says he's going to be one of them. 1 more, we'll pull 2 names. Who is in as of right now? Ray Carmichael is in. My dad, Steve Ehrlich, is in. Mike Maddie is in. Norma Bronner. Russell Cement Surfer. Kenny Peterson. Pete Winters. Alec Blanchett. Eric Taylor. David Weber. Lee Carr. David Woodcocks. William Alderman. Ron Walensky, big job. John Bennett, Rusty Nails. Jess is in. Mike Barger is in. And Jason Withrow. So if you think that you've paid and I did not read your name off, be sure to get with me. Big job. This is the $1 million raffle. I wish it was a $1 million raffle. That'd come in handy. Jess says, I got the original paint chip page from a 49 Nash on eBay to go with a brochure for her 46 Plymouth. So, yeah, there again, you can watch it, eBay and stuff like that. But, if you see a dealer auction coming up, that's somebody that's selling out or something, that's always a good place to keep an eye peeled for. So, anyway, if I didn't read your name, every name that I read as of right now, you are in the big Buick oil can as we speak. There they are, some of them. Still some more down in there. But the names I just read off are now in the big Buick oil can. Now, what else are we going to do? We said we're going to pull 3 names as of right now, and we may be pulling 4. Obviously, Jason said, yeah, I saw his name, so you guys are in. Like I said, if I read your name off out of that packet, you're already in. I've already made the slips for the amount of chances you purchased, and you're in there. Obviously, and we've had this question come up before, the first name out, I assume, is going to want the Sinclair pump plate, but they will have the option to take a further prize down the line if somebody else chooses to. Next, which is probably for the next name out of the can, Kenny, good luck to all you nobodies he just mentioned. Yeah, Jason says he needs to sign. Second name out of the can. 2 consecutive numbered new old stock in the envelope. Kansas license plates. Brand new, never been used. This is number 10830. This is number 10831. The next name out of the hat gets the pair. Consecutive numbers in the envelope, never put on a car, brand new, never scratched from screws. Still has the original runs in the paint from when these things were painted. You can see the streaks in it. I guess you can kind of see the streaks in it from when these things were painted 65 years ago, basically. After that, Phillips 66 Aviation. This is a cardboard can, yet it is still a super cool can. I love the aviation cans. You don't see them that often. This is full. I will drain it unless the winner prefers it to be shipped full and wants to pay the extra shipping. So that will be the third name out of the hat. If we pull a fourth name, we need 2 more people, Sebastian and 1 more. We will pull a fourth name after that. So Jason says he needs to sign and the plates. Well, you can only win once, Jason. That's another thing. Once we pull your name, you are out. So Alex got to jump off tonight. Glad you hung out with us most of the evening. But once I pull your name, you don't just keep winning. If you win first prize, then you're out. So make sure everybody else wins. Sebastian says we have planes and cars, but no trains. Yeah, we don't have any trains. We don't have any trains to give away. Jason says that's unacceptable. So we'll get Sebastian in, and we get 1 more person in. We're going to pull 4 names. So that ought to be fun. Chris, is the drawing live next Sunday night? Yes. The drawing will be live next Sunday night on May 1st. Then we will either do one of 2 things. Either I will announce the new raffle, or I may wait and surprise you. I may buy something at Lawrence. We may keep it a secret, and I'll try to find something at Lawrence and have a big reveal the weekend after that. So don't know if we'll do the reveal next week or the week after. Depends if I have something cool I want to use, or if sometimes it's kind of fun to try to find something totally new and unexpected that I don't even know about. So, but anyway, what else is going on? That's the raffle. Let's talk about a little bit of inventory, next week videos, and then let's get ready to wrap this thing up. Hudson Badge. Sebastian, you take payments in gas or diesel. Big Job says, with the price of oil, ship it all. Ship it full. Picked up a couple of cars this week. The load I bought clear out in western Kansas, I went and picked up the 37 Ford 2-door sedan slantback, which is a pretty rough car. I'm still going to show it to you, but it's a pretty rough car. And then yesterday, Dad and I went on a run, and kind of a fluke deal, word of mouth deal. Just found out about it Friday night. I got a video on it yesterday that's going to be popping up. Been in this garage for, they thought, around 30 years. One owner, unmolested, untouched, other than it's a 70s era car and the bumper fillers fell out of it, shockingly. 1975 Oldsmobile 98 Coupe. Super cool car. Sold new here in Great Bend at the Buick Olds Cadillac dealership where Dad worked at when the car was sold. Dad remembered the customers, remembered the car, still has the D-Dove Buick Olds Cadillac leather keychain on it, still has the window sticker in the glove box, still has the new car prep form signed by one of the old mechanics that Dad worked with that I knew when I was a little kid. Sebastian says I've piqued his interest. It's a cool car. It is. Great colors. Kind of a medium metallic blue, white vinyl top, white leather. It's a cool ride. So, Sebastian says he likes documented cars. It's a neat ride. All those things got derby. They wrecked them. They got them out, ran them in demo derbies. It's a 98. It's got the cathedral taillights on it. Square headlights, since it's a 75, first year for the square headlight. One owner, the garage we pulled it out of was the original owner that bought that car November of 74, I believe, was what the paperwork showed. from Dove Buick Olds Cadillac here in Great Bend, Kansas, where my dad worked at. So I've got some content in the garage exactly as we found it, other than we'd aired the tires up before I did the video. We'd already aired the tires up before I shot the video. It's the only thing we had touched. And then showed it after we pulled it out, still covered in dust, but pulled it out in the yard. This is right in town. Nice, clean area, manicured lawns. You never would have guessed it. Not in an old, dusty, old, dingy barn. The car's filthy because it's been sitting there for 30 years, but right in the middle of town, a little town real close to us. So we got a video. So then 2 of the daughters of the original owner spent a few minutes with us, talked a little bit about their folks and why they think their parents held on to this car. So super cool story. Haven't done anything with it. We just loaded it up, brought it back, unloaded it in Dad's shop. And so haven't washed it, haven't done anything to it. So those videos will be coming a little later down the road. But the one is the one where as we found it in the garage, opening the garage door. That video will be coming out within the next week or 10 days. So, but that was a super cool find. I get jacked about that 70 stuff, especially those big cars that everybody demo derbied. Finding a cool one is always awesome. Big job. Nobody's plaque of your daughter's truck's what he's waiting for. Just like the shirt. Okay. Roger, thanks for showing the 60 Chevy wagon. Yeah, that's a neat car. Jeff Taylor, the more documents, the better. That's for sure. Jason wants a truck like that as well. So that 98 coupe is a cool ride. So there's some content coming on that as well. Dodge and badge. What else is happening? Like I mentioned earlier, X-Ray Dean, how much? Don't even know yet. Need to try to get it running, clean it up a little bit, see what we've got. Scott says, I bet your dad's going to keep it. I don't know if he'll keep it forever or not. I think he's going to keep it for a little while. I think it brought back some memories of some of those guys, just like when I pulled the new car prep sheet, because he didn't remember if he prepped it or not. And he said, I wonder if the prep sheets there. I wonder if I prepped it. But he did not. Delbert did it, which was one of the mechanics, old-time mechanics that he worked with, who actually prepped the car. But we'll get all that paperwork out. We'll check it all out after we get the car cleaned up. I didn't dig into that on this video because we needed to get it out and get it loaded and get it back to Dad's and get it unloaded and into one of his buildings. And we went to an auction yesterday morning over at Car Auction and Realty. My partner's on the F&E Collector Auto Auction. They had a sale yesterday. We went over there. Dad bought a bunch of parts books and stuff. So we were at the auction in the morning, called on the Oldsmobile, got over there. They said, let's do it. They got a deal put together. They said, let's get it out of here. So we had to run back to Great Bend, grab my truck and trailer, turn right back around and head back over and pull this thing out of the garage. So it was kind of a busy afternoon. But so I don't know if he's going to keep it forever, but I think he's pretty excited about it. I think it brought back a lot of memories of, back when he was on the line in 75. Because I think he went to service manager around 78 or 79. So this was literally right in that window of when he was on the line when those cars were coming out new. And in fact, when they went in to get the keys, this was kind of ironic. They went in to get the keys for this car. They bring out just a whole handful of keys. And the owners just said, here's the keys for the cars we have, or here's the car keys they had still hanging in the house. So we started sorting through them and we found the keys for the car. However, we found another set of keys marked 1982 Oldsmobile 98, because after they parked the 75, they bought a new 82. And what was ironic about it, they had the little yellow dealer key tag on it, where the dealer wrote on the car information on it when they had them hanging in the cars. The yellow dealer key tag was in Dad's handwriting. He'd made the key tag that they still had hanging there from 1982 for this 82 98 that they had bought after the 75. The 82 is long gone. Don't know what happened to that car, but kind of some interesting stuff with that one. So we'll be getting you that content as well, and I hope you guys dig it as much as I did. I was super excited about it. Let's see. Buzz says he's looking forward to it. Big job. Who can cast a plaque? You can get them done. Number one, what's the over and under on number of cars you buy in May? Jay says he's got a plaque and he's had them cast before. So Tweedledee dealership tech manual worth anything? Not as much as they used to be with the internet. Just depends on what it is and what it covers. Brian says put him in the big Buick can. So now you can give me a shout when we figure out what we need to do to get you in there, Brian. So, but anyway, that's what's coming up here soon. That was an exciting day yesterday. Obviously, going to an auction is always great, even though I didn't buy anything. I don't think I bought anything. My partner on F&E, Chris Froster, that runs car auction, I left a couple bids with him, but I don't know if I bought anything or not. Sebastian, nothing like a car that has a story. That's what we live for. That's right, and this one's got a great story, and it's a cool car, especially being a coupe. I love the fact that it's a coupe. I love the cathedral taillights that the 75, 76, 98 had. In my opinion, an extremely underrated car, but a super cool car. So, Big Job says, my buddy used to cast aluminum, just retired last year. Otherwise, he was going to ask him. So we'll be having some content coming up on that. But what else is coming up? I've got a lot of videos shot. I've got a lot of cars coming in. I've got a lot of cars to pick up. I've got a lot of cars on the ground you haven't even seen yet. But anyway, what do I have? Like I said, Toy Tuesday. I've got some running to do Tuesday night, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be back in time to do Toy Tuesday. So as of now, unless something dramatically changes, I'm going to tell you we're going to cancel Toy Tuesday this week. So we will just have the 3 normal videos and then be back here Sunday night. So don't worry about Toy Tuesday. If something dramatically changes, I will make a post on it. Old School says Toy Wednesday. I got the other video coming out Wednesday, so we'll probably just skip this week and do it next week. So, unless you guys really want to do something that bad, but I'm going to tell you right now, we'll just plan on skipping Toy Tuesday. What do I have coming for videos? A lot of stuff. Working on the 78 F250 still. I've got another video put together on that. I haven't got any further on it, thanks to the aftermarket tanks not fitting. But I did do a video showing the difference in the aftermarket tank and as to why there's no way that's going to fit. You'd either have to completely cut a section out of the tank and modify the tank, or cut a section out of the frame. Old School, who edits the videos? This guy. That's why they're not very good. I do it. I edit the videos. I haul the cars, I move the cars, I pull the parts, I package the parts, I ship the parts, I do the videos. Shayla helps me usually shoot the videos. When we go do a bunch of the yards, Shayla will help me shoot them. Like the stuff we did on the 75 98 yesterday. My dad helped me do a little bit of it, but he's still on crutches from his new ankle. So he helps sometimes when we're out picking up cars. But as far as, anything I do edit, like when I put the stuff in the loader video of the Arrow and stuff like that, I do all of that. So yeah, I do all the digital media. I do everything. I do the eBay, I do the Craigslist, I do the Facebook, I do the YouTube. I do all of it. I'm not very smart. Yeah, I know that's where some of you are going. So I'll just throw that out there right before you beat me to it. Sebastian says, do a longer Toy Tuesday next week. We might be able to do that. May mix a few things in there. Big Job, get a stand-in like Johnny Carson used to. Old School, wow, how do you have time to do it all? I try to be at the shop by 7, try to be home by 10. It's the only way to do it. 14 to 15 hours a day. Lunch is right here. I keep sandwich meat, soup, frozen dinners, TV dinners, pot pies, frozen pizzas. I keep all that stuff in the fridge here at the shop. So lunch is 15 minutes right here where I'm sitting. I do run home and eat dinner. Shayla cooks dinner. I'll run home and eat about 6 for about 30 minutes and then right back to the shop. So that's why when you see the yard is a mess and unorganized and I don't have time to get everything set the way I want it, it's because I just don't have time to do it all sometimes. So I stay busy, but it's 14, 15 hour days. That's just what it boils down to. Roger, this is the best show online. Well, thanks, Roger. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys being here. Kevin, I like the Parkwood wagon with factory air and an electronic eye. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Tony, when do I sleep? I try to be home, like I said, between 9 and 10. Take a shower at 10. Go down, get in bed, and read until I can't read anymore, which sometimes is 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it's 30 minutes as to how long I read. But what I do is by going to bed at 10:15 and grabbing a book, that pulls my brain out of everything else. I get into the book. I can get absorbed in the book. Brings my brain down a few notches, and then I zonk out usually 10:45, 11, and the alarm goes off at 5:45. So I'm not saying I'm out of bed at 5:45. The alarm goes off at 5:45. It's usually about 6. I like to be up by 6:05, 6:10. Sometimes it's 6:15. Yeah. So I sleep basically from 11 to 5:45. Was when I sleep. And that's fairly well regimented, other than, like I said, the reading time. If I'm still pretty awake, I may read for 20 or 30 minutes. If I'm pretty zonked out, if it's been a long day, I may only read for 5 or 10. But by getting into a book that, doesn't have anything to do with this world, it takes me back down, unwraps this a little bit. Then I put the book to the side, turn the lights off, and I usually sleep pretty well. So that's what it boils down to. Let's see. Old school, you planning on buying a yacht? I don't know what I'd do with a yacht. Joe's still waiting on the turbo supercharger video. Yeah, I do need to do a video on those turbo superchargers. Joe, you're not letting me forget it, which is great. I appreciate it. So don't ever hesitate to let me know when I'm forgetting about something on videos you guys want me to do. So, but no, old school, I have no desire to own a yacht. Couldn't afford a yacht. Don't want a yacht. Don't know what I do with a yacht. Lori, live on the site right there. We could do that too. Jason says, I wish I lived close. I'd love to help out. That's right. Big job and busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking fight. That's for sure. How about some Hudson badge right there? Jason's on a fridge run right now. That's okay. We'll throw it up there right now. We'll make sure we have to get it back when he gets back from his fridge run when he's ready to go again. But what else is going on that you haven't seen? Obviously, I've got the 78 F250 boat video shot I need to show you. I got another video from my buddy's place where I bought all those parts from him. Another one from there, a whole nother load of parts, not even in the video you saw before, a whole nother batch of stuff I bought from him I got to be hauling in. Got that video. Got a video on the 77 Ford LTD2 Broham. Yep, they made a Brougham LTD2 in 1977. I didn't know that until I bought one, but they did, and it's a totally complete car. Not the most desirable car in the world, but a loaded to the gills LTD2, are completely original, all the way down to all 4 hubcaps. So that video's coming up. 79 GMC video coming up on a pickup we drug in. 36 Chrysler video is shot in the can. We got to show you a little bit more of that car, plus the 75 Olds 98. Damn, my brain will fade away without trying. Just ask my wife. Jason's back, and he is reloaded, so let's give him another Hudson badge. Joe on Facebook, unique usage of a turbo supercharger was the P47. Yep, that's true. I've got one turbo supercharger that I have not identified, and that's kind of what I'm wondering if it was P47. So I know it's not P51 because I know what those superchargers were like. But this, I do have one turbo supercharger that is for a radial that I haven't identified. I think all three of the other ones are all right R3350, which would be B29, but. Big Job says he didn't go to the fridge. Hudson badge. But anyway, everybody, that's what I've got for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll get ready to start wrapping this thing up. As always, it always takes a few minutes to wind down. So we will keep an eye on comments as we get ready to wrap this thing up, because there's always a few that pop in here at the end. So we'll keep an eye out on that. As we get ready to wrap things up, like I said, please remember, we'll just plan on skipping Toy Tuesday. I definitely will still get 3 videos up this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I still need to rethink about how I want to do some of these videos, as far as how I want to feed them, if I want to start combining some of them. But I've got so much new inventory you guys haven't seen. I haven't even shot videos on everything that's here. This is just what's shot. But there's still 37 Ford just came in and haven't done a video on that. The 68 Torino Squire, the 75 Elite. Trying to think of where I've been dumping cars at that I haven't even done videos on yet. So lots of cool stuff, plus more stuff coming in all the time. Plus I bought another one today that you're going to think is super cool that I have got that is going to be a surprise that I just made a commitment on. I haven't given them a check yet, but I called them about 4 o'clock. We went over the deal again, and we came to terms on that one. And it's a super cool one. Been inside for years. Low mileage original that nobody's going to expect. And it's nothing super cool like a Hemi-Cuda or anything like that. It's an oddball. It's one of the oddballs, but it's cool because it's an original oddball. And there again, whoever kept any of the oddballs? Nobody. They all got used up, beat up, tore up, crushed because nobody thought anybody would want them. This is a very well-preserved 69,000-mile original oddball. And I'm going to give you one little in on it. It's an oddball station wagon. So that's something to think about. It's cool. Ralph says, great show. Appreciate it. Scott, we had an air show this weekend at the local Air Force base that had it all. Those are always great. I love going to air shows and seeing all the cool stuff. Let's see. Dressdale says, good night. Norma says, great show as always. Good night. Pete, thanks, Chad. Good night, everybody. Jason, how much is a 2X shirt? I think the 2X shirts are $24. If you click on the text of the video after we get done, it's all in there. So after we get done, just click on the video. The text part of the information has it in there, as well as the PayPal and the mailing info. So Big Jeff says, great show again, gang. James, food time, chicken fajitas. That don't sound all bad. How about some husband badge to go with that? Kenny says, Rusty Nails, let's drink. Tony, later, everybody. Take care. See you later. Jeff, Taylor, Steel Ponies, great show. Thanks for your time. Congratulations to all the winners. Tweedly D, how to get a shirt. Just like we talked about, that is in the text. You can use PayPal, friends and family, or you can mail me a check or money order, Tweedly D. I think it's 22 for XL and large and 24 for double and triple X on there. So if you do PayPal or something, just make sure you put a note on there what it's for. Make sure your shipping information is on there with it, and I can get you one out. Scott says, SA, Texas. Let's see. Kevin, have a good week. Stay safe. Dan, great show again. Jess, is your factory working again? I don't know, Jess. Is Ford up and going again in KC or not? I don't know. Kevin says, hit the like button. Kenny says, good show. Great show. Buzz says, great show across the board. Roger, good night, everybody. James, good night, everybody. Jeff, looking forward to the LTD2 and the Elite. David W. says, oddball Falcon wagon. No, it's not a Falcon wagon, but it's an oddball wagon, and it's super cool. Hudson badge. All right. I appreciate everybody being on here. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you spending basically your entire Sunday evening with me at this point. I definitely appreciate everybody's participation in the auction. That helps, fund what I do here. It helps make this thing work, especially for the amount of time I put into it. I really do try to do a good job for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it enough to tell your friends about it and invite them to come over hang over. Leonard, got any restorable 72 Riviera boat tails? I've only got one 72 Riviera, and it's tough. It was hit in the left rear quarter about 35 years ago and then parted out after that. So very little left of that 72. Jay says, just wish you could play along more. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody jumping in. I appreciate everybody hanging in there, making this thing fun and making it what it is. The auction is great. It really does help. Like I said, I try to do a good job for you guys. I build these episodes every weekend and try to keep track of it, for 109 times, believe it or not. 109 times. Holy cow. A lot of time, a lot of information in this book. I started doing these sheets around episode number 40 or 45 is when I started logging and tracking all this stuff. So it's all because you guys keep coming back and hanging out. That's the crazy part about it. So anyway, that's what I've got. I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to sign off, get a few more things done tonight, and then get the heck out of here and get some sleep. Got a lot of stuff going on this week, as always. Thanks to everybody for being here. As always, you can use PayPal, friends and family for auction purchases, T-shirts, or you can always mail me a check or money order. That information is all in the text part of this video, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. That information is there. So, Kenny, going to sign out. Thanks for a good show. Appreciate y'all being here. X-Ray Dean. Yeah, Big Job says, wow, 109. Yep, that's fist bump right there. Right back at you guys. It's all because of you guys. Me sitting here talking into my computers every night on Sunday night would amount to nothing without all of you guys and all of your participation, not only in the auctions and the trivia, but your participation in and amongst the community that we've got built here. There's a lot of times I don't have a guy's answer, but a lot of times you guys do, and that's what's great because it is a community that has helped all of us answer some questions that even I don't know. Joe says on Facebook, says, see you. Cool show again. Thanks. Big Jump says 91 more to go. Holy cow. 91 more to go. Wow, to 200. Jason says, I'm a nobody here every Sunday. That's right. We're all nobodies hanging out here together. I appreciate you guys being here with me because, like I said, without you, it isn't anything. Glad you guys enjoy it. Please invite your friends. Tell them about it. Have them come over, hang out, check out the videos. Hope you guys really do enjoy what we're doing here. I do put some effort into it. I hope I'm doing it right. As always, if you have questions, comments, think we can do something better, let me know. Scott says great show on Facebook as well. I'm always open to suggestions because this is about you guys as much as it is about me. That's the whole thing. So Dan says we're growing old together. Yeah, I feel like that some days. Joe says more trucks, more magazines. Okay, we'll keep working on that for sure. And the magazine thing's pretty cool, so we'll keep working on that also. But Joe says mix some more truck stuff in, so we'll see if we can work some of that in as well. 69s, okay? Jason says greatly appreciated. I guess that'll do it. It looks like we're pretty much through any of the comments. 60s era. Okay, Joe says more 60s era stuff. We'll try to do a 60s era magazine next week. Anyway, another Hudson badge for the road. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. Like I said, we'll skip Toy Tuesday. 3 other videos coming up this week. Next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat station right here. Sunday night live chat, 7 o'clock Central Time. Thanks to everybody for being here. James says get to the F-body soon. Okay, we'll try to get some of those worked in. And I'm going to jump off, get something done. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate your participation. We'll see you next Sunday night right here. Same bat time, same bat station, 7 o'clock Central Time. Sunday night live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Jason says you're one of a kind, Pastor Chad. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably some people that would say that's a very good thing because I don't know how much more of me the world can take. So, Daniel, you got an 80 Chevy Cheyenne short bed. The only 80 I've got is a long bed. The only one that I've got is actually a 1980. Is all I've got right now. James says night. So that'll pretty much catch it. I'm going to bail off of here. I know we keep saying that, and I keep getting more comments. So another Hudson badge for the road. I'm out of here. We'll see you next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, Sunday night live chat. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate the support. Have a great week. I'm going to go try to find some more cool junk to buy to show you and share with you. And we'll see you next Sunday night. Thanks for watching, everybody.